As August begins, you musical fans wins. Because we all know Gene Kelly puts butterflies in our belly. So even if you're in pain, stay patient, because we're talking Singing in the Rain. Because you're listening to the Revue Review. I can't stand it.
Welcome to the Revue, a show where two small town dudes sing you our big dumb opinions. I am Troy, to the max extreme.
I can't think of one.
It's hard
Shouldn't
sometimes.
be plenty of them.
It's hard.
I'm old RF.
I mean, you did that whole intro.
I did.
Amazingly.
It took me a little bit to think of it all.
If you enjoyed that little stanza up front, well, it's because it's Singin Out the Summer.
That's right.
This whole month doing musicals.
Yes.
Musical guests.
Musical guest.
And we're starting it off with Singin' in the Rain.
Yes.
My
pick. My pick.
This is your pick.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, I will give my pick for next week, so watch it before we review it next week. And then the last 2 weeks are viewers' choice.
They're up to you, people.
Yeah, we have had some requests already. We're going to put those on a poll. If you have any more, throw them in there before the poll goes up after next week
Yeah.
to be what our third and fourth weeks will be.
Yes.
It's a 2 for the audience.
Two for the price of audience.
For the audience. 2 for the audience.
A T for the audience.
Why are we going back into that accent? We were doing it all before we recorded, and now it's just too much. It's too much. So let's jump into some news, JT.
Yes.
Starting with, I got a little bit of podcast news. Interesting podcast news.
Oh my God.
Now, Libsyn is the most popular hosting site for all podcasts. Mm. We don't host on there, but many people do.
Yes.
So here's some stats about every podcast on Libsyn.
Okay.
That if you have over 142 downloads on any of your episodes in a 30-day period, you get more listens than 50% of all podcasts on Libsyn.
Jesus.
Only 142 listens. If you get that many, you're doing better than half the podcasts uploaded onto that site.
Oh, Jesus.
Which doesn't sound like a lot.
No.
Right? It puts in perspective on like what you would get on any other hosting site.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess I'm not doing so bad.
Yeah. Because Libsyn's a pretty big one, right?
Yeah, the biggest one.
Oh, shit.
It's up there, babe. And so it goes on to say if you have like 1,200, you're doing better than 80%. And then it goes up to if you've got like 32,000, you're doing better. You're in the 1%.
You're a 1%.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And Spotify is 7% of all downloads in July for podcasts.
Sheesh.
7%. I mean, there's 1,000 billion, 100,000 podcasts out there. 7% is a big number of them.
It is.
And, maybe fun fact, that we are now on Spotify.
We're on Spotify.
If you are so inclined to listen to them on there.
Yeah.
And we have actually seen a jump in numbers.
The day we went up, we got like 58 listens.
Yeah.
In one day.
In one day.
Like, the fuck?
In one day. It was messed up.
Yeah.
So
a lot from some dude in Sweden.
So congrats, Sweden.
Sweden loves Spotify.
Hats off to you, man. Hats off to you, one Swedish guy. But thanks for that. But yeah, it's the proof's in the pudding, I guess.
Yeah.
There you have it. More news on that at the end of the show.
good.
But anyway, that's all I got on that.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. No, I got one more. It was added at the end of the sentence. I forgot. The top 5 countries that listen to podcasts are the U.S. at 50%,
Yes.
the U.K. at 7%, Canada at 5.5%, Germany at 5.5%, and Sweden at 5%.
There you go.
There you have
We're
it.
tapping that Swedish market.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that adds up to 100%, but
What about our awesome Australian listeners?
they weren't included.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
We're going to take over Australia.
Pretty soon. Pretty soon.
Pretty damn soon.
Move over, Planet Broadcasting.
Yeah.
The big Australian podcasting network down there.
They're gonna host us.
Coming to
They're
get
gonna
ya.
host us at that sweet theater that's like sitting on that.
The Sydney Opera
Yeah,
House.
we're gonna do get us to do a live show at the Sydney Opera House.
If it's not torn down by some natural disaster, as it is in every single movie, that the Eiffel Tower and the
God.
Empire State Building are
Yep.
always the ones to kick the bucket, and the Golden Gate Bridge,
Yep, Golden Gate Bridge
and the pyramids,
Yeah, well, pyramids. They've been asking for. They're too old.
and Big Ben, maybe.
Oh yeah, Big Ben always blows up.
Mm-hmm. Any other ones? Let us know on Twitter.
Come on, what do you want us to blow up?
Well, hold on. Let's not turn this into a manifesto here. You got an update on Guardians 3, JT. You hear about this news?
Is it the Dave Bautista news?
That David Bautista
Bautista.
won't be doing Guardians 3 unless James Gunn's script will be used.
Yeah.
Do you hear the follow-up on this?
What's the follow-up?
The follow-up on it is that Disney were planning on scrapping that script.
Uh-oh.
So it could have been goodbye Dave Bautista.
Uh-oh.
Bluetista. But with an update as of today,
Yeah.
they are using the script, if at least parts of it. So it looks like you will be seeing more Drax,
There you go.
if he sticks to his word,
Yeah.
in Guardians 3.
They almost threw him away to walk alone inside a pit of danger.
He would just be thrown out.
Yeah.
And the baby in the bathwater. He'd just been scooped up in an old dustpan and just thrown out into space, never to be recollected. And
Into a pit of-
taped back together.
Into a pit of danger.
That's right.
His
Moving
natural
on.
habitat is a pit of danger.
Is that Dave's? Yeah, Dave's or
Yep, Dave.
Drax.
No, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I got it. I just wanted the listeners to put that together. I mean, obviously.
Don't be talking shit about old Dave.
I will back off. I didn't know you two were so tight.
Come on.
You got real tight out there in the Indies.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. All those indies that Dave Bautista was working.
Yeah, that's right. News is that Jumanji 3, coming out sooner than later probably, will have more connections to the first film than the second film ever did. So if you're looking forward to more board game action or more... Oh, I almost said Robin Williams.
That's
Nope. No siree.
Oof.
I mean, unless you're looking for more Alan Parrish,
Yeah.
not as Robin Williams. I'm surprised I pulled that name out of the hat.
I know. I didn't remember it.
There you have it. You may be getting it in Jumanji 3. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I like the subtle notes that they did in the first Jumanji, or in the second Jumanji.
Right. Yeah. As much as I didn't think I was going to like it, I ended up liking it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's just a fun little premise. Witch
Oh, yeah.
magic or whatever. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah, I know. Like, I like the whole idea where it's like, it adapts, where it's like, well, no one's playing board games. I guess I'll turn into a video game.
Yeah. Be full on VR next time.
Yeah, there you
Trapped
go.
in
Oh
a
my God.
shell of a body.
They're just going to do a shittier Ready Player One.
That's right. Moving on, I got more Disney news here. I should have just lumped those all together. But the Disney streaming service is going to be up in 2019 sometime.
Yeah.
Rumors have it at the release of episode 9.
Okay.
That's when, not on home release, but, theatrical release. We're also
Yes.
going to drop that streaming service.
Yes.
Now, here's a caveat to that.
Okay.
Because no Star Wars movies 2019 and previous will be available on the Disney streaming service at launch. Because, found this out, Disney sold the streaming rights from episodes 1 through 6 to Turner Broadcasting.
Oh, shit.
For $275 million back before they knew they were getting a streaming service. And they have those rights until 2024.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So they got like 5 more years with them. And then Disney also, the Disney produced ones, the recent ones.
Yeah, those are with Netflix.
Those are with Netflix.
Yeah.
Until, I don't know when. Couldn't get a date, but I'm assuming that's going to drop fairly soon.
Because I think they also have that same deal with Marvel.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. It's like the Disney umbrella. Marvel or Netflix gets all that stuff before anybody else can.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good for Netflix, as
Yeah.
it had them for a little bit, but I assume their contract is yearly.
Yeah.
I would think, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's usually how they have to re-up all that negotiation stuff to show it for another year. So I would assume by 2020, all
It's
that
gonna
stuff
take
could
them all
be on.
back and shoot them.
They're gonna send them to the farm. So that was unfortunate because I'm assuming a lot of people want to go back and watch that 1 through 6, at least 3 through 6, 4 through 6, actually.
Fourth to sixth.
Especially if Disney can get a hold of the ones that aren't cut,
Yeah.
the uncut.
Yeah.
4 through 6.
The uncircumcised.
That's right. That's right. Moving on to TV, JT, the CW.
Yeah.
Launching yet another superhero property
Oh,
onto their
good.
weekly lineup. They are launching a Batwoman series
Yeah.
with Ruby Rose after the title character. She is going to be introduced in their winter big crossover event between all of the shows. And
That's
then
when they're gonna be, she's gonna be introduced.
yeah, in
And
that.
then they're gonna give
And then
her her
they're-
own show from there.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like, see how well they do and spin her off. She's already getting a spin off. Like, that's already in the works. She's just going.
We already know.
Yeah.
We already know it's gonna be so good.
added to the pile. But at this point, they have enough DC shows, I think, for every day of the week. I
They should
think.
CW just changed the name of their station to Marvel DC Angst.
DC Teen.
Yeah, DC Teen.
Yeah, it might. That's it. That's what it is.
Like every show is that.
Mm-hmm.
Even Riverdale is that, isn't it?
Riverdale is
Archie?
Archie is just still Archie. Like, it's not. It's owned by Archie Comics, which is
Gotcha.
its own thing. But like, so not only do they have Archie coming out whenever, they have Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning.
I heard Black Knight Lightning's really good though.
I heard that too. And then they have iZombie, which is a Vertigo property.
Yeah.
And then they'll have Batwoman. 7.
Jesus.
As I count on one hand.
Jesus Christ. I need a beer after hearing that.
You just drowned your sorrows. Anything special or the?
Just deal with Miller Lite. I might get one of the special ones when we get into the main course.
Oh, special time. So yeah, that's nuts. I am a huge fan of Batwoman as a character though, because even though she is like just another Bat character,
You said she's a lesbian, right?
she is a lesbian, and
I think Ruby Rose is a lesbian in real life too.
Well, geez, they typecast the shit.
Hey, it works.
I'm not just talking bullshit. But I'm just what was I gonna say? Oh, I really like her because she goes against type for all the Batman characters and plays against it.
Yeah.
She was in the military and got dishonorably discharged for being gay.
Yeah.
So she has military training and has no qualms with using guns.
Oh shit.
And so, like, I know how to fight from the military. I carry a gun in one of my pouches on my belt, and I will shoot somebody if I need to.
So she's like a mixture of like Batman and the Punisher.
Yeah, but she still has that, like, Batman mentality. It was like, I don't have to kill somebody.
She won't kill. She'll just maim.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Batman maimed.
Batman will break your arm.
Yeah. and stole an apple.
I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you, as some guy bleeds out after climbing out a broken glass window or something. That's what he does in The Dark Knight Returns. Sicko. Plus, Batman in The Dark Knight Returns has machine guns on his tank of a Batmobile.
Oh, he does.
And promises that they're rubber bullets as he turns and pretty much just winks at the camera while he just shoots up all of these mutants.
Oh, they're alive. I'm pretty sure they're alive. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it.
Rubber bullets, I promise. Ding. Last bit of news I got is video game news, JT.
What?
An odd little thing to include on this show, but it's big news.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be on the horizon pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Tomorrow, they're going to be showing gameplay footage of it just to show how pretty that game is going to be.
I want to lose so much money on video games coming up.
I might also go broke this Christmas.
Because you're just going to buy...
I'm going to get
You have to buy the console first.
Oh, I know! And that and all the stuff that I've missed up on...
Because Spider-Man comes out in a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then Red Dead. And then...
I still haven't played Arkham Knight yet. I'm going to get that.
Arkham Knight. It's so fucking... Oh, it's so fucking fun.
I heard the Batmobile shit is still kind of lame, but...
I didn't hate it.
No, everybody else says
it's a different.
They hate
it's
it.
like it's different. I kind of like it because it's like a different aspect to the gameplay.
Okay.
Because you're not just doing the same like stealth fight shit. Like now you have like stuff where like you have to chase things and you have to like use like a tank.
Sweet.
To blow up like robot tanks.
Sweet.
And stuff. I didn't hate it. I thought it was cool.
Well, good.
And I like the whole idea where like Gotham is pretty much like it's pretty much like a version of Grand Theft Auto as Batman.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I also got news on GTA 5.
Oh, geesh.
So GTA 5 has already been released, obviously, and it's been out for 5 years, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But that game still makes $5 million a day.
Well, they add, I'm pretty sure it's like every 2 or 3 months they put another online expansion pack onto it.
Yeah.
They just did one where like it's like a story that you follow with like Gay Tony from like the
fourth one or
from
something?
yeah.
So I went to look up how much money that game has made, and it is staggering.
Yeah.
As of April 19th of this year, the year of our Lord 2018, it's made $6 billion.
Jesus.
As of April.
Yes, they're probably not even like putting a 6th one in production because it's like why
would they have
you
to at this point?
Yeah. Well, their online community, I guess, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they just keep adding expansion packs and people just keep doing the shit for the expansion packs. Like it's up to the point now where like you could own like your own fucking condo. You could own like your own business.
Really?
You can own your own yacht. Like it's just like these expansion packs are ridiculous. I was like looking, there was like a little bit there where I was playing through it, but it's like people are so fucking good at that shit that like it's so hard to get that stuff because everyone is so much better than you at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have time to do any of that stuff. All I want is first like single player shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't have time to multiplayer.
And their single player stuff's fun. It's a really cool story they play out where you're playing as 3 different people.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they're 3 very different people too. It's like, you're like this black guy from the streets. You're like a guy that's kind of like retired from criminal life, and then you just play. And then there's another like a psychopath that lives in a trailer park.
It's just like unhinged.
Yeah, you play as all 3 of them, and then you can go back and forth between any of them and play their missions. So it's really a fun story mission.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for video game news. So Rockstar is pretty much killing it because they also have Red Dead Redemption 2.
I know.
God, I'm gonna be broke, man. And I already have no time.
Yeah.
What am I trying to get myself into, man?
I know. Once that Spider-Man comes out, then there's so many games that are coming out right behind it where I'm like, fuck. have to like set aside like certain income for video games. It's like Spider-Man, and then I think The Last of Us comes out like sometime next year.
The part 2?
Yeah, part 2 comes out next year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then, yeah, Red Dead 2. Jesus Christ. It's so much shit.
I don't even know. I need to have another kid to have time off or something.
Get in here, Chelsea.
Let's get down to it. I'm looking for that sweet time off. Christ.
There's so many bears that need to be skinned.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, that's all the news I got.
Well, all right. I just realized I forgot to watch the trailers I set aside for myself, so I might not have trailers this time.
And I only have one.
Well, all right, that'll go by fast then.
Yeah, well, just by looking at it, not a whole lot came out, I think, this week anyway. Must be saving it up for a hot, big release.
A hot big.
A hot biggin.
Troy, we talked about that Mission Impossible 6 last week.
That's right.
Last week?
That's right. Last week.
And so word out there was like, is Christopher McQuarrie coming back for 7? I know I read some news earlier in the week that said Tom Cruise was trying to get him to jump on board. And Christopher McQuarrie came out with a answer to that, saying that he would rather have leprosy than direct Mission Impossible 7.
Christ.
So I think he's a little sick of doing Mission Impossible movies.
My God. Well, he did this one, and did he do 5?
He did 5 and 6.
Okay. Well, I could see him wanting to do something else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're super well received.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe
he just wants to do his own thing. Because that action in that was really fucking good. I want to see him like tackling some other stuff.
Yeah. Maybe the stress of it outweighed the reward of having it be a good movie, but
yeah.
Jesus, they were good.
Yeah.
Well, 6 was good. Never saw 5.
Troy, are you looking forward to Cowboy Ninja Viking, that new Chris Pratt?
I'll be looking forward to it when I see something of it.
Okay, well, you're going to have to wait a little longer because Universal Pictures has shelved it for the foreseeable future.
I thought that property just seemed odd to me that they were going to... I haven't read any of it, but it just seems like a mishmash of things that not a lot of people would care to see, I think.
Yeah.
At least the general movie-going public.
Yeah.
Cowboys, they're outdated. Ninjas, overdone. Vikings.
I don't even know what it's about. Is it just a person that encompasses all 3? Is he like possessed by 3 of the ghosts? I don't know.
I don't know. I only know that it's a comic. That's it.
All right.
I don't know much about it.
Well, there you go. Well, might not happen now.
There you go.
No Cowboy Ninja Viking.
You're looking forward to it. Tough titties.
Some big Oscar news came out today, Troy. I guess they have adopted a new category for an Oscar. It is called Best Popular Film.
Oh, okay.
Maybe trying to appeal to a more mass audience.
Okay.
Maybe put in some films that are not so much artistically received as they are like blockbusters and such.
Financially and critically received. Well, I guess critically received would be like the Oscars. But.
Yeah. But, yeah, I was seeing a bunch of stuff on it today, and there's a lot of people that are against it.
I could see that. Like, even when you said it, I'm like, that's really interesting, because I would have never expected them to do that.
Yeah.
Just to cater to, like, a mass audience.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are saying, like, there's a lot more unrepresented categories that you could adopt that are probably better than Best Popular Film.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing this is probably their way of like trying to get more mainstream people to watch it, because like I bet there's enough people that are like, I don't give a shit about these movies, but then you put out an award where it's like, hey, look at this, Infinity War's up for an Oscar, and they'd be like, oh shit, I gotta check this out, see if it wins.
Well, Marvel needs an Oscar now that DC has one for Suicide Squad.
Oh, I know.
Don't forget that, people. That happened. Suicide Squad got an Oscar.
Best makeup ever.
People don't forget. It's like fucking 9/11.
Jesus. This is like the most offensive episode we've done. Talking about blowing up shit and people dying and 9/11.
Never forget, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what other category? I would love to see like a best. Well, I don't know, because we always talk about like how Andy Serkis gets snubbed for being like a CG.
He should just be up for best actor.
That's what. Yeah, I was like, that should just be lumped in. But what else would?
Yeah, because there's not. I don't think there's enough motion capture that goes out every year where it's like, oh shit, yeah. We need that.
But what other category would they add? I don't know. What would they add before this one?
I don't know.
I couldn't even tell you. Because there's so many that are like done the night before that are just technical awards that you don't even see.
Yeah.
So, or on commercial breaks, they'll do those too.
But still, it just feels like a publicity stunt to try and just get more people to watch the Oscars. Because I know like their ratings have been going down
for
every
years.
year.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, like, who cares? Like,
yeah, no, I just like watching just to like see what critics consider good movies, and then being like, well, it's not as good as I thought it would be.
Right, but even if like they didn't have like a televised program, and they still gave the awards away.
Yeah, I know that's what I do. I just look it up
just look up the list.
Yeah. The pageantry about it is so fucking mind numbing.
Yeah, it's so narcissistic. Like everyone's up their own butts, but I do catch the Oscars, at least snippets of it every year.
Yeah.
Because there's usually something that goes down that you need to talk about the next day.
Yeah.
Some guy got on a soapbox or whatever, and it's like, listen to this asshole, or whatever it is. But, anyway, so I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but I definitely can see people being like, why would you be doing this?
Yeah.
But I don't hate it.
All right, so there you go.
I do feel like it is just like a gimme. Like, it's everybody knows who's going to get it every year pretty much then.
Probably, yeah. But it's a way to get people to be like, oh, yeah, I want to see this dumb bullshit that I love get an award.
It would, okay, so actually, what podcast used to say this? Whereas, like, they should do the Oscars 5 years later than the year.
Yeah, Cracked used to say that.
Yeah, because then, like, after all the dust settles, there's only going to be a few movies that are still even memorable from that year.
Exactly.
Like, why don't they get Oscars?
I remember listening
that
to,
could be
like...
this category.
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
And
I'm so pissed that Cracked doesn't even do that anymore.
I don't...
Because they used to do that. They used to do that episode where they would go back and, like, look at the movies from 5 years ago and see, like, okay, what do people still talk about that won the Oscar 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even listen to Cracked anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, I stopped too.
I don't mind Schmitty, but I don't even feel like the topics have been even that interesting.
No, they haven't been.
I listened to their last episode that came out, to be honest.
What was that?
It was about franchises that got too big for what they were, and a lot of it was like, can you believe that Garfield got so big and he was like on everything for a comic strip? And it was stuff like that got like way huge for no reason, or they just had just the right marketing team to push it to this huge thing.
I just want like an alert that comes up when Jason Pargin is on a fucking Cracked, because he's the only thing that I liked about Cracked, because he's the only one that really talks sense. Everyone else is just like, remember this?
Mm-hmm. The live shows, I'm
those
never
live
really
shows are fucking terrible.
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of like second-rate comedians being like, "Hey, remember this?"
Yeah, as we say, as fourth-rate comedians.
Yeah,
but
I know.
But I get it. Like, it's exactly right though. Like it's just. Like the people's friends.
Like, it even sounds like the audience is bored during those Cracked
I don't know how big their audiences actually were.
Yeah, you can't hear for shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, we're spending a lot of time on this. But what else you got?
That Birds of Prey DC movie, Troy. Have you heard anything about that?
I thought I saw a little bit of it circling the news, but I didn't read anything on it.
I guess they have picked a villain for the Birds of Prey
still happening,
film, and it's going to be Black Mask.
Okay. All right.
Which is known in Batman lore.
I'm into that idea.
So,
Black Mask is cool.
Very good.
We'll see if it happens.
Very good. Yeah, we will see if it happens. If DC just decides to just throw their arms up in the air if Aquaman tanks.
Man. I don't know, man. Shazam needs to do something.
Yeah. I can see Shazam doing pretty decent. But I don't know about Aquaman.
I don't know either, no.
I don't know.
Even though I saw the trailer on that big screen and it looked better, after you said that, like, it's just Black Panther, and I'm like, oh yeah. It kind of is. I mean, without all, like, the positive things of, like, being a superhero movie for, like, minorities and women that, like, never get represented. This is just white people in the ocean.
Yeah, it's Black Panther.
yeah. It's white Black Panther under the sea. Yeah. So there you have it.
It's white marlin.
It's just white fish.
Yeah, white fish. Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Oh God.
Not doing so well. His film City of Lies, which was supposed to center around Notorious B.I.G.'s murder, has been shelved indefinitely.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, not doing so well for him. And then he's going to be in that next Harry Potter film, so...
Boo, fuck Harry Potter. That's my stance on Harry Potter. I know you listened to my last show, but like before me and Chelsea were recording last weekend, our sound test, she was just like, test, how are my levels? And I'm just like, fuck Harry Potter. Fuck Harry Potter. For like 5 minutes until she was like sick of me. Then I'm like, okay, let's start recording. Just spring it on her when she goes, like just starts huffing and puffing. It's my favorite thing to do.
It's always fun to annoy Chelsea.
Anyway.
Staying on that DC train, Warner Brothers is still going ahead with a Supergirl movie. Troy, did you hear about this?
A little bit.
They got the screenwriter from Sonic the Hedgehog currently working on it, which should be very promising.
Okay. Yikes.
I don't know. We haven't seen Sonic the Hedgehog yet. It might be amazing.
Could be a perfect film.
It could be the best film I've ever seen in my entire life.
Fuck the most popular picture. It'll win Best Picture at the Oscars, probably.
Yeah. Just imagine, like, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just like fucking CG Sonic like running.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Film today has come in leaps and bounds, and this year we have definitely encountered a true gem. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Here are your nominees for the 2019 Oscar Best Picture. I'm just like, Bridge of Spies 2. Sonic the Hedgehog. New Tom Hanks flick.
They just show like Sonic like looking somber in the crowd. Yeah. And the Oscar goes to
a guy in a big Sonic costume and a tuxedo.
Just raising the roof.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Look how far we've fallen. Troy, for September, I don't know if we told people this, but we're thinking of doing at least 3 Predator movies for our Predatember.
Yeah.
With Predator, Predator 2, and The Predator coming out.
Uh-huh.
Not looking good for The Predator.
Oh god.
Troy.
Oh god.
Because I guess word out there is that Edward James Olmos was going to play a character in The Predator, and they, for some reason, cut all of his everything that all the scenes that he was in the movie out.
Oh.
Which takes a half hour from the runtime.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell for?
I don't know. So, I don't know if they're just like being like, oh shit, this isn't as good as we thought it was. Audible.
Oh, God.
And it's like, all right, we'll see how this goes.
Cut it down to 89 minutes and then just get as many butts and seats for that opening weekend.
This might not turn out to be as good as we thought it would, maybe.
Well, a good stinker always makes for a good episode.
Yeah, we'll see.
Doesn't make for a good theater experience all the time, but good for a good bitch sesh.
Oh, yeah, we love a good bitch sesh.
We got it.
I got some actor news, Troy.
Okay.
A famous actor retired this past week.
Johnny Depp.
No, he's
Jared Leto.
no, it's Robert Redford.
Oh, yeah, I did see this.
Retired this past week. So there you go.
He's out of the game. It's like he's got one more movie coming out, right? And
I
then
think
after
so.
that is
he's done. He's done.
Kaput.
Yeah. But he took like a long time off too.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, what was the last thing he did before this movie? Like that Winter Soldier?
In Winter Soldier, he did that sailing movie where he didn't speak.
All right.
I think he did like an old person film with Nick Nolte.
I can't believe old person film is like a genre of film.
I remember my parents went and saw it.
Of course they would. They're old people. I just was reminded today that my mom and dad are in their 60s. Because...
Oh, yeah. My dad's in like his mid-70s.
I can't remember what I was talking about now, but I was like, some old lady, probably in her 60s, and my mom was like, hey! I'm like, oh yeah! You are 60, but they're spry for 60.
Oh, yeah.
And your dad's fairly spry for being in his mid-70s.
Yeah, when he's not, like, going in for open heart surgery, he's doing real well.
Yeah. How's an old heart ticking anyway nowadays?
Oh,
Good?
he's good.
Good.
He's good.
That's good. So I'm mowing the lawn outside that church.
Oh, yeah. He's still... For some reason, they can't find a single fucking person to mow it outside of my family.
So they get conned into it. Your dad gets conned into it every week.
Yeah. God is great. Wonderful. Troy, did you see that new Disney Christopher Robin?
I did. Did I see the movie?
Did you see it?
Nope.
Oh, your daughter didn't try and get you to go see it?
It's a good thing now she doesn't quite understand any of that. She doesn't know how things work. The TV at this point is magic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've heard mixed reviews about it.
Okay.
But China has completely banned it.
For witchcraft?
Because
toys come to life or something?
Did you see? I guess I saw this on a Last Week Tonight, where I guess the dictator Xi Jinping gets so many memes made about him where he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
I did see that.
So he's banned Christopher Robin from China because of Winnie the Pooh.
I love it.
So I just thought that was hilarious.
I love that he's so bitter about it, that he bans movies from showing in the whole country.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
My last bit of news, Troy, a big power team of writers is coming back.
Oh.
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Oh my god.
Are going to write a film together, and it's going to be based on the McDonald's monopoly scandal.
Oh, is that happening?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about the scandal, but I heard that rumblings that this is going to be possibly a thing.
Yeah.
What's the scandal?
So the scandal was that there was a guy who was like in charge of like the Monopoly stickers that would pretty much rig the game for like people that either he knew or was trying to bribe.
Oh, okay.
Or like whatever, where it's like even like certain, like I'm pretty sure they even said that like Canada didn't receive any stickers that would have allowed them to win.
Oh.
Anything like big at all. Like maybe like a McDouble here and there, but none of the Monopoly stickers that could actually like have you like win like something big were sent to Canada.
Really?
And like he would like bribe people. Like he got paid like $20,000 to like give like some dude Boardwalk.
Wow.
And like I guess there's like this big scandal where like the Monopoly game was like totally rigged, and he was just like divvying it out to people that he knew and like to places that he liked. Like he would send out like more of like the stickers that you could win from.
Dang.
So yeah, there's like this big. That's why McDonald's isn't doing Monopoly anymore.
They didn't do. Did that just happen like last year or the year before?
That wasn't too long ago that it happened.
I guess I haven't been noticing that they haven't been doing it.
But
because usually it ends up with me with a cup holder full of those things.
Yeah.
And then nothing ever amounts to anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you never. So yeah, like there's like I think it's like one particular guy or something who was in charge of it, and he was just fucking
raping everybody.
Yeah, he was just fucking everyone over with it.
Man, most everything I've ever won is a McDouble, maybe a medium fry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez. But you always get that Boardwalk or that Park Place.
No, you get the Park Place. You never get Boardwalk.
Right.
I remember I've gotten like Park Place like every year that I've tried.
Yeah. Well, you gotta try, right?
Yeah.
Until you find out it's rigged, I guess.
Yeah. Till you find out it was just a fucking
pricks rigged the game.
Prick rig.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I don't know. Was there any? I don't think there was any deaths this
I didn't
week.
See
I
any,
could tell.
so that's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's
and
fit as a fiddle.
Everyone's fit as a fiddle. And I haven't really. I was gonna watch trailers before we started, but yeah, I didn't get to it. The only thing that I saw
Kart instead, huh?
I was just playing Mario Kart instead. It's fucking awesome. The only one that I saw that I didn't watch a trailer for, but one that I thought was interesting, that Showtime is coming out with a show starring Jim Carrey, where he plays like a children's, like he's like the star of like a children's TV show.
Uh-huh.
And it's like it's like created by the same woman that did Eternal Sunshine.
Oh.
Where it's like it's a lot of like him like doing like
as a serious role?
Yeah, it's a serious role, and it's like a lot of like him like imagining certain things. Like I guess like the big thing in the trailer, I didn't watch it, but I'm probably gonna watch it when I get home. But I guess there's like he has like a sex scene with a puppet.
Oh God. He's back in the game, I guess, right?
Yeah, he's been doing quite a bit of things.
He was off for a long time just doing like artwork and stuff, and now like he's in like a serious movie that I saw a trailer for doing this.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I do have one trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Since you're on a roll.
There's a new series coming on Netflix, starring Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, called Maniac. And it looks odd.
Yeah, I saw it with the sound off. Perfect way to watch a trailer.
I don't think the sound doesn't really add anything to it.
I was like, I don't know what this is.
They kind of set it up where it's like there's these people that are like insane, and they put them. There's like this machine that could like allow them to kind of like, it's like a course correction for their brain, and it like puts them through different scenarios, and you can't really tell if it's like alternate realities or if it's just like their brain trying to show them what real life is, or I don't know. But it's like, it's pretty much just a bunch of things where it's Jonah Hill and Emma Stone are like interacting in these like multiple realities that this machine is like conjuring up for them.
Sounds semi-interesting.
Yeah, and it's by the same guy that directed the first season of True Detective.
Okay. Was that True Detective Season 3 coming out?
I don't know.
I thought they were working on that.
They're working on it, I guess.
All right.
Be patient.
I'm on to them.
So there you go. Maniac. On
Maniac.
Netflix.
Check it out. I have one that came out this last week called King of Thieves, starring Michael Caine and Charlie Cox.
Michael Caine.
And he's stealing gold from jewelry shops.
Size of tangerines.
And he's stealing Joe's the size of tangerines. Hi, baby.
Oh my gosh. There's a child.
Macy, how are you?
Hey.
Want to get in on this mic?
Say hi, Daddy.
Macy, what'd you think of Singing in the Rain?
She was asleep.
Yeah, man.
Well, she could have absorbed it.
Oh.
She could have
Hi.
absorbed it through osmosis.
Say hi into the microphone.
Whoa!
Oh, dude.
Hey.
Say hi.
Or just lick the
And
microphone.
she
the
is now
microphone.
eating the microphone.
Say,
Yeah, say that.
all right.
Oh, man.
You've had enough microphone for tonight.
See, we appreciate everyone's opinion here on the review. Even
year and a half.
even year and a half year olds.
Even a year and a
We appreciate your opinions.
That's right.
half.
Can I have a smooch?
Get real, dude. Get real, dude.
Gotcha.
High five. Bam! She got it.
Oh.
Now she's trying to spider. She's trying to spider sling.
See you, cool cats.
Adios,
Adios.
adios, mama. She still flipped us off while holding her daughter.
I didn't.
How dare you?
How dare you insinuate? How dare you?
uh,
Sorry for the
back to Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
But anyway, he actually, it's based on a true story about like a big gold heist that actually happened in the UK.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much one of those old people movies where they have Michael Caine and Charlie Cox and a few other people that have like Golden Globe winners, but they're not popular enough for me to know, I guess, or
Yeah.
I am not knowledgeable enough to be in their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But they're a bunch of older, elderly gentlemen that stage like this jewelry heist and steal gold and then smelt it down to bars. And so it's untraceable, and then they just sell it off or whatever.
Oh shit.
And I guess it's like based on a true story, and it looks interesting. And it's like, looks like it'll be it's not a comedy, but it'll have humorous aspects to it. So
I'm
it's
laughing.
It's not like any of those Morgan Freeman movies that have been coming out in the last few years, where it's just
I
like
love it. It's like,
old people putzing around.
let's go to Las Vegas and be old.
Yeah, but that one looks interesting to me. But that was the only other one I saw. So that's it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So if that's it, then that'll bring us right into our tourney.
Tourney random movies. Troy.
Yes.
We had Basketball versus Casper
Mm-hmm.
last week. Troy, did you see who won?
I saw who was ahead. Did they stay ahead?
How could they have not have? I don't think Casper received a single vote.
I was gonna get with Skeeta to see if she would actually cast one vote because she was all
Because
up
of
in arms
Devin
about.
Sawa.
Yeah, but I think if she would have seen it, she'd been like, "Oh yeah, basketball."
Oh yeah, I think she's way more into basketball. I think
So basketball won, I assume, right?
basketball
Because
annihilated.
no votes. But yeah, when I saw it, it was already like at 100%, and I voted for basketball, obviously. And so I was just like, well, we'll see how this turns out. I voted pretty early in the week, so
And there you go.
yeah.
Basketball taking it, as well as Aladdin and Falling Down
Mm-hmm.
with basketball. That means we have one more match in the quarterfinals,
Quarterfinals. I love quarterfinals.
which is, of course, First Blood versus Scarface.
Oh, my.
Troy. So we'll see how you do here.
My.
That's right. We got our trivia. 8 questions.
Yep.
3 from First Blood, 3 from Scarface. 2 could be from either of them. It's Troy's job to figure out which fact is from which film.
Film facts.
Film facts! Number 1, Troy.
Lay it on me.
The main actor hated the original cut of this film, so much so that he tried to keep the film from coming out. When he couldn't do it, he pushed to have a lot of his scenes cut from the film, which reduced the runtime to half of its original length.
Scarface.
First Blood.
Really?
Yeah. I guess.
I thought Stallone like helped write First Blood.
I guess
that was Rocky.
I guess he hated how the original cut of it turned out, and he was like, "Well, if you're gonna release it, just cut me out of a lot of it." And they did, and it ended up like cutting like half the runtime of the movie.
Oh Jesus!
But and then it came out, and then it was like a success.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh, that surprises me. Okay.
So there you go.
All right. Okay.
Learn something new every day.
How about it?
Number 2, Troy.
Yes.
One of the female stars accidentally cut the lead actor's face during filming.
Scarface.
It is Scarface, Troy.
It's ironic.
Michelle Pfeiffer cutting Al Pacino's face during filming.
Okay.
Number 3. The lead actor claimed that during filming, a woman claimed to be his biggest fan to get free drinks out of him.
I'll say Scarface again.
No, it's First Blood.
Oh.
Stallone actually liked this fact so much that he included it in Rocky Balboa.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they bring it up in Rocky?
I guess they have the scene. Yeah, they have the scene where like a woman comes up to him being like, "Yeah, I'm your biggest fan," and then she just uses him to get free drinks and then leaves and then ignores him.
Oh, I get it. Got it. All right.
Number 4. This one's an interesting one. I actually love this one.
All right.
Okay. This film was submitted 3 different times with 3 different edits to the MPAA, and all of them were rated X.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't until a panel was put together that showed that it portrayed a valuable message that the MPAA approved of its tamest edit of the film. Because the MPAA couldn't really tell the difference between all the edits, the director pulled out the original cut of the film and got away with putting an R rating on it.
I'll say Scarface.
It is Scarface, Troy.
I don't know. I could see it being both, but
They said like they put together a council that said that it shows the dangers of drug use, and then the MPAA was like, okay, I guess we'll put out the last edit of it. I guess was tame enough. We'll put that out. But then the director was like, well, fuck, they don't even tell. They can't tell. They just saw that there was like violence and sex in it, and they just put an X on it. So I'm just gonna give them my original cut of the film. And they accepted it and then put an R rating on it because they couldn't tell if it was edited or not.
That is bravo to you. That was a good one. I like that one a lot.
The main actor says this is one of his favorite roles of his career.
Rambo.
Nope, it's Scarface.
God damn it! One time I jump over to fucking Rambo and it's Scarface.
The director turned down directing a very popular dance film to direct this.
I don't know. Rambo.
Scarface.
Holy
I think it's shit. Who's the fucking director of Scarface?
I don't know.
Shit, I gotta look it up. But yeah, he was set to direct Flashdance.
Oh my god!
And then he took Scarface instead.
Did fuck the MPAA.
Yeah, to go fuck the MPAA. Number 7. Despite extreme filming conditions, the main actor didn't get sick till the last day of filming when he did a shot of brandy.
Rambo.
Yep, that's First Blood.
Okay.
Yeah. Stallone went through hell filming it, and then he didn't get sick until the last day of filming where he just randomly took a shot of brandy, and then he got the flu. Last fact, Troy. The lead actor of the other film in this matchup was considered for the lead role of this film.
I say Scarface.
Nope, it was First Blood. Fuck. You thought Sylvester Stallone was up for
I could see it.
Tony Montana in Scarface.
Yeah, because the other way around, I can't see Pacino being Rambo.
Yeah,
But I could see it the other way around.
I think they were going more for like a sickly looking Rambo when they did First Blood. I think,
okay.
or like they wanted to make him like really look like war kicked the shit out of him.
Got it.
So yeah, so like when they were like on that, they were thinking of bringing Al Pacino on as Rambo.
Okay. I don't think that would have worked.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would have been a different movie, I think.
Yeah, he would have screamed a lot more.
The first Rambo, though, he could be sicklier looking because it's not like a huge action movie.
Yeah.
It's like a chase through the woods.
Yeah, it's a lot more like thinking about like how PTSD kind of fucks with people.
It's not until like... Oh, and I don't think I've seen Rambo 2 all the way through. I don't remember it. But I remember Rambo 3, and it sucks. That one's the full-on shoot a helicopter down with a bow and arrow type movie.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking that far ahead when they made First Blood. Because I think he was supposed to die at the end of First Blood, wasn't he? And then
I don't know.
They pulled an audible to keep him alive so they could make sequels.
Don't know.
Is it that or 2? I think in 2 for sure he was supposed to commit suicide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen First Blood Part 2, I don't think, all the way through. I know I've started it. I know my brothers, one of them, has like the whole Rambo Steelbook collection.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. But I've really only seen like First Blood a bunch of times, and I've seen the most recent one.
The most recent one is fucking awesome.
Brutal. It's brutal. It's still not the same as the first one.
No,
but it deals with some real type shit.
Yeah, like God, it's so fucking good. It's ridiculous. It's like how the fact that they got to this point and they were like, let's make the most brutal war film you can think of in the Rambo universe. It's like, right? Jesus.
God. All in Burma and all that shit. That's sick.
Dropping hand grenades in puddles and making people run through it.
Yeah, sick.
Oh my God.
Sick, man. Anyway,
So there you have it. First Blood versus Scarface for next week. Do you have a favorite in this one, Troy?
I do have a favorite, but I might go against type.
Okay. I don't know. This one's pretty close. I think both of them are kind of held in pretty high regard, and they both came out pretty close to each other.
Yeah, I of all like this quarterfinals, I think these have been like most closely matched between all of them. They haven't been like weird goofs.
Yeah,
not goofs, but like ups. Like this will be like a more close one, I think, than like 100% blowout.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious to see. What wins the whole thing, because even after this, I think it'll still all the movies in this are so different from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Might flip a coin.
All right, so there you have it. First Blood versus Scarface. Get out there, put your votes in, and we'll see who goes on to the semifinals next week.
Semis. Well, that will jump us right in to our first stop to Sing Out the Summer.
Singing Out the Summer, baby. Give me one of those special beers, Troy.
Which one do you want?
Which one are you more
the Tangy.
Drawn to? You want the Tangy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the snake one. Okay. Give me that snake.
Snake! Okay, yes. First up is going to be Singin' in the Rain, debuting April 11th, 1952.
Wow.
I know. Budget of $2.5 million.
Jesus.
Domestically, made $1.82 million.
Yeah.
Internationally, not worldwide, it did go
Yeah.
to Canada and like maybe the UK. But it made its money back, and it's made $12.4 million
Jesus.
in 1952 money. So it sextupled its budget.
God.
Still, not the highest grossing movie of that year.
Oh my God.
I'll get into. I have more
Where does
stats
it,
on that.
do you
stuff.
see where it ranks in that
Yeah.
year? Okay.
I have the whole chart.
Gotcha.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 100%. IMDb has it at an 8.3 out of 10. Movie Farm has it at 404, error not found. That's a little joke I did.
Good Lord.
Processed Grass has it at 2 out of 5 stars.
Whoa. What?
And
do they have a reason?
yes, I have the screenshot on what the reason is here. I'm going to read just their last paragraph.
Okay.
It's only 2 sentences. Don't
Okay.
worry. Now, is convention always bad? Certainly not. Plenty of films exist without subverting expectations or breaking genre convention. Even the art of the escapist film is one that I cannot bring myself to write off entirely, but in the case of Singin' in the Rain, the film does little worth noting to make it some grand escapist affair. Once one looks beyond the half-baked meta aspects of the film, Singin' in the Rain is hardly different from more openly trashed musicals like Grease or, dare I say it, High School Musical. 2 out of 5 stars.
So he's pretty much just he's critiquing the things that it's not like he's critiquing it for the things that it's not well known for.
Pretty much.
Like he's pretty much being like, "Oh, the story was shit." Or it's like this movie's not made for the fucking story.
Well, in 1952, I would say like this movie with its meta contextualism
Yeah.
would have been one of a kind back then.
Yeah.
Where now maybe it's not.
Yeah, like being meta is like kind of like a trend now.
Yeah.
And like I think back here it was kind of taboo to kind of like pull back the curtain and be like, this is how this shit works.
I mean, I'll go on with, but anyway, that's all I got. You can look up his review. It's on IMDb.
Yeah. Find out his Twitter, tell him to go fuck himself.
Go look up old tweets. He probably said something real racist. Just call him out. I don't know.
Jesus.
No, I don't do that. That's shitty. Anyway, Processed Grass is the reviewer
Yeah,
site.
I don't know what he's smoking. Smoking that processed grass.
So I looked up the top grossing films in 1952 in the U.S. Singin' in the Rain comes in number 5.
Yeah.
Number 10 is Monkey Business. Number 9, Affair in Trinidad. Number 8, Hans Christian Andersen. Number 7, Moulin Rouge. Number 6, Sailor Beware. Singin' in the Rain.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Ivanhoe from MGM, making $6.258 million.
Ooh.
In
So these are the movies that came out in 1952. Okay.
That beat Singin' in the Rain now.
Yeah.
Number 3 is The Snows of Kilimanjaro from Fox with $6.7 million. Number 2, The Bad and the Beautiful from MGM. Also, that's where Singin' in the Rain is from, at $8.5 million. And number 1 would be The Greatest Show on Earth from Paramount at $14 million.
Jesus.
Those were the top 10 in 1952,
Shit.
which I have only heard of 3 of them.
Yeah.
So let's see how well they aged. Maybe they aged well, and Singin' in the Rain just happens to be the more popular one.
Maybe.
I don't know. This film did have some Oscar nominations.
Okay.
Didn't win, but it was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Hagen and Best Music. The supporting actress would have been the one who played the lead actress in the movie.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, the lead.
The one with the shrill voice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Jean Hagen.
Yeah, Jean Hagen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was... Yeah, because she stuck out just because that she played
Yeah.
like an antagonist.
shrew.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Can't stand him.
it won for Best Actor at the Golden Globes for Donald O'Connor, who is his
Plays... I gotta look
funny
up
guy in it.
Yeah. Make him laugh guy.
Yep. And then it was also nominated for Best Motion Picture for Comedy Musical, but it did not win that year.
Gotcha.
Other than that, we can just get into it, JT, with what happened in Singin' in the Rain. What's Singin' in the Rain all about?
Well, we follow a Gene Kelly's character who is named Don Lockwood.
Mm-hmm.
And him and God damn it. Yeah. Don Lockwood and Lena Lamont are known as like this big Hollywood couple that are in all these silent films together in 1929, I think it's called. I think it is.
Late 20s.
Yeah, late 20s. And they are on cloud nine until the introduction of talking films comes out.
The Talkies.
The Talkies. And they realize that they are very ill-equipped for this kind of thing. And he decides to go ahead and make a musical film when he comes across a young woman played by Debbie Reynolds, Kathy Selden.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out just if old Don Lockwood is equipped enough to survive this change in trends, and maybe even if his co-star could survive the trend as well.
Oh my. Oh my. This film I've seen a lot as a kid, but all I ever remembered from it was the song Singin' in the Rain.
Yeah.
And Make 'em Laugh, because it had a really high action comical dance number to it.
Yeah.
Those are the only things I ever remember from Singin' in the Rain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like 5 years ago where I caught the beginning again, and I'm like, that's what this movie is about? Because I had no recollection of what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am way into that idea. And I didn't realize this movie was as funny as it was. This is all still 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I went through and rewatched it after catching some of it at my mom's house. And I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I had no idea what this movie was about. And it totally subverted all my expectations. And I sat down and I was like, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I know, like, this movie masters the art of sarcasm without being dirty so well. Like, especially, Donald O'Connor's Cosmo Brown. He has so many lines that are just, like, so good for the moment.
Right.
Like, I am, like, losing my shit every time he like, talks back to somebody.
Right. And if he doesn't have, like, a musical number, all of his lines are pretty much just one-liners.
Yeah.
But he had me cracking up every time he had a one-liner in this.
Exactly.
And, like, there's a few of them where, like, it was, like, near the end where it was Gene Kelly, O'Connor, and the movie producer were all in his office.
Yeah.
And he's like, something about, like, give me a cigar. And he's like, here, have a cigar. And it's his own cigars.
Yeah. And then later when he does something that isn't like, hey, I gave you a cigar once.
So all that shit was really good. It's like, not only is Gene Kelly, like, go down in history as being, like, one of the best song and dance men in cinema, like, I have seen him so much growing up in, like, other things that, like, when I did see La La Land, I was, like, disappointed.
Yeah.
Because nobody can live up to, like, how Gene Kelly and that kind of, like, that gang of people back then, like, could stack up to the competition now.
I know. It's so funny to watch this, like, going back and watching this, because you see how there's so many films that have ripped this off and have not come close to how good it was when it was first executed.
Right.
And it's, like, almost sad. Where it's like, how far have we fallen where you can't match up to, like, this amazing talent that was back here.
Right. And, like, it doesn't make me look less upon, like, stars now, but stars back then, I'm not the first person to say it, were, like, singers and dancers and actors and actresses and all that kind of stuff, and they had to do it all.
Yeah.
And if they didn't, then they weren't huge. And if they did do it, they were in every movie.
I know. And now you're getting like today where it's like, do you look pretty? Well, then you're in a movie.
Pretty much, yeah. And so,
like if you're attractive, you're in a movie. But back here, you had to be attractive. You had to sing. You had to dance. You had to act.
Yeah.
You had to do all of it.
And by gauging by this movie, just singling out because we're reviewing it, you won the part. Debbie Reynolds won the part to play
Kathy Selden.
Yeah. And she was only 19.
Yeah.
And she had very little dance experience. She was a gymnast. And I guess Gene Kelly broke her down so many times to get the choreography right that she would cry every day.
Oh, yeah. Well, even Donald O'Connor, I guess he was in an interview where he said he just hated working with Gene Kelly.
I had no idea, but that's all I was seeing when I was looking up facts for this movie.
He was so militant about making sure that everything was on point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where, people in interviews have said that Gene Kelly was the worst to work with. But then, after it was all said and done, they talked about how fulfilling of an experience it was.
And they look at the performance and they're like, maybe it was worth it.
Yeah.
Because, I did really good at that or whatever.
Yeah. They even interviewed Gene Kelly where he was like, yeah, Debbie Reynolds, she didn't have the experience, but she caught on way faster than I think anyone else would have. Mm-hmm. So even he gives them credit, even back where it's he probably would have just railed on him before. When looking back on it, he's like, yeah, they were good.
I have want to read some trivia just to show how Gene Kelly was a slave driver.
If you get a chance, and if you're bored one day and you are familiar with Singin' in the Rain, go on IMDb's trivia and look. It's the most interesting trivia that I've read for a movie so far on IMDb.
Yeah.
There's so many facts to this that it's just, it's so good.
Let me just give you a few snippets. The first one on here is Gene Kelly was a taskmaster with Debbie Reynolds, who had never danced to this degree before rehearsal started. Fred Astaire, who was in an adjacent dance studio, found her crying under a piano and reassured her that it was all of her hard work that was worth the effort. Mm-hmm. So, Jesus Christ. Debbie Reynolds also remarked that many years later that the making of this movie and surviving childbirth were the two hardest things she's ever done.
Yeah. Well, there's a fact that they bring up where during what was it? I think it's Good Morning.
It
was during Good Morning. They did actual tapping, and they did it so much that she burst blood vessels in her feet and had to be dragged off the stage. Mm-hmm. And then because they couldn't do it, then Gene Kelly just dubbed in the tapping.
Right.
So it's so none of that was worth it.
But it also said later on there that it was common to do that at the time because sound mixing wasn't as great.
Yeah.
Or to pick up the sound or whatever. But yeah, I didn't know really that he was such a tyrant, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you look at this movie and you see how well it's made and it's well shit, do we have to do that for every cuz it's it came out incredible.
Yeah. It also goes on to say Donald O'Connor didn't really like Kelly all that much, even though on screen they have a pretty great chemistry together.
Oh, dude, I'm always a big fan of best friend characters in films. I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but I always thought Samwise Gamgee is an amazing character. Because I love the idea of those characters where they're willing to step aside for a person they care about to succeed. Mm-hmm. And Cosmo was totally that character in this, and I fucking every time he's on screen, I love him because he's just, you can see the small things that he does to either kind of jab at Don or get him to do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And he never tries to take credit for it. Even he gives a fuck ton of ideas for Don Lockwood to capitalize on to make him more successful. Mm-hmm. And he's well, good, I did my job, and then just steps back, and he's never bitching that he's not getting credit.
Yeah,
he just plays the piano for him and lets him do everything.
Right, and he's written into the movie as his secondhand man.
Yeah,
But like I like in this movie too that everyone, all of the good guys, I guess,
Yeah.
like Gene Kelly, O'Connor, and
Debbie Reynolds. They all contribute.
They all contribute,
Yeah.
and they win at the end. They like quote defeat the evil one, who is Gene Hagen in this, and like even though it was made in the 50s, I was actually surprised to see, or I was like it was refreshing to see that they were standing up for Debbie Reynolds' character in the movie.
Yeah.
They're like, no, she's a great actress. Like, even though like Gene Kelly was coming on to her in the beginning and she's like the love interest. Yeah. She was still represented as like a talented person in this. Yeah. And maybe not necessarily as equal, because she never was involved in like really the making of anything, just kind of like the planning stages.
Yeah, I do really like what she does in this, but it still kind of suffers from that like that feeling where it's like, well, we still kind of have to make the men are the ones that do a lot of the shit,
but not as much as I would have first expected with her involvement in it.
Yeah,
because she does, like with O'Connor and Kelly, she does plan to salvage a film as a musical.
Yeah, she's because it's her idea to turn into turn the Dueling Cavalier into a musical.
And she, with O'Connor, comes up with the fact that they can dub over what's the character's name's voice?
Lana something.
Dub over her shrill voice.
Yeah.
And so then she is a part of that.
Lena Lamont.
And so she's a part of all that kind of stuff. And even when they're on stage after the premiere, like this is the only time where I'm like, why didn't they just have her planned into this when like the three guys got together?
Well, they couldn't really, because Lena was there the whole time.
But like, I know, but they still pushed her on stage and they planned it really quickly while Debbie Reynolds was still there. They could have been just like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Just go behind the curtain. Instead of be like, you're going to get behind the curtain and I'm putting my foot down because I'm a man or whatever. And she's like, fuck you. Like, after I do this, I'm out of here, buddy. And I'm like, why didn't you just let her in?
Yeah.
Like, they had to be like a whole big surprise.
Even with them not saying anything, they just kind of had this, they shared this look where it's like, we know what we're doing.
Right.
Because they don't even talk to each other. Yeah, they don't even talk to each other, just kind of like singing along to Singing in the Rain, and they just kind of like walk around the fucking rope, and then they pull it down so they can show that Debbie Reynolds is the one that's been singing all along. But then it's like, so the men get it, but she doesn't.
Right.
I know. It's like...
it was weird. But that would have been like the biggest, I would say the biggest red flag.
Yeah.
But otherwise...
I mean, there are like a few things here and there where I'm like I would have liked... It might have been like a really tough ask to do, because it's like back in like this time where like, well, we have the man is the one that always does everything. But I'm like, I feel like the story would have made much more sense if like she's the one that they kind of turn to do that transition from silent films to talkies, because like she's the one with the theater experience.
Yeah.
And it's like, because they do this weird shit where in the beginning they're doing this whole thing where she's playing hard to get, and that's what kind of leads Gene Kelly on, where he's like, oh shit, you're not like falling over my every word.
Right.
And that's what kind of gets him interested in her. And then she just is like, well, I don't watch movies, I'm in theater and blah 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 blah. And then they kind of have this debate on what is better, movies or theater, and then they're just kind of like turned off from each other.
Right.
And then they have that whole scene where she pops out of the cake and he's like, oh, you're theater, right? Oh, that I can totally see. Give me a soliloquy, blah, blah, blah. Right. And like, but like she's doing that to make money, because theater is not making any kind of money.
Right.
Because theater's a dying brand.
Mm-hmm.
So like they get to where he never sees her, and when they come back, when he finally sees her again, she's like all over him, or it's like, oh, I've seen all your movies, I've done all this, blah blah blah, where it's like, you could not give a fuck about him the first time you saw him. So it's like, so were you just playing him, or were you just fangirling and being like, well, I'll just act like I don't care about his movies, and then I'll move in when the time is right. Like, I would have liked it a lot more if it's like they get to like the silent movies, talkies are introduced, they figure out that they have no idea what they're doing, and then Debbie Reynolds moves in and is like, look, I have theater experience. You could do this. You could do this. You could do this. And then she's the one that allows them, like, they combine their knowledge to make an amazing musical movie.
Right.
And then that's what makes him fall for her, is that he kind of reignites that love for stage performance by doing movies, because he was on vaudeville for so long.
Right. Yeah, that would have definitely worked. But again, this movie was made in 1952.
Yeah, this is made back when it's like the man knows everything. Listen, look, we're gonna do this movie.
2018.
Right, Chelsea?
Current, still.
But I think if they were to
How
like,
did I know he was gonna say all of that?
but if they were to make this nowadays, like, that's probably what this would be. Where
Right.
Debbie Reynolds' character would move in and be like, "You're doing all this wrong.
You're an
this
idiot.
is how you do it."
You're a beautiful idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how she presents herself, like, in the first act of this movie. Like, she does not let Gene Kelly get away with anything. Like,
Right.
she knows how dumb he is.
Yeah.
Because he does these silent movies where even the dialogue when they do the talkie for the first time is just repeated shit over and over again, because every silent film has like 4 lines to it. So it's like, why don't you just do I love you, I love you, I love you? It works every time. And
Right.
It's like, well, it's a different thing when you're reading it once.
Yeah.
If you're saying it 6 times in a row, it's fucking stupid.
That was also something that I found out too, that there was a silent film star that when it went from silent film to talkies, like, he would do that kind of stuff, just do like really schmaltzy lines, and he was panned for it because, like, he didn't want to do what was written, he just wanted to do what was easy. And they took that real life aspect and put it into this movie, another metatextual concept that they dropped in here that was all like just adds to like the fucking shit pile to like against Hollywood studios and stuff.
Yeah. There's a movie that won an Oscar called The Artist that I saw, where it's like a silent film and stuff. They totally fucking ripped off this movie.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him.
And
I
it's
was like,
nowhere near as
fucking
good as this
stop
is.
no, it's not.
And it's like going back and watching that, like, just thinking about that, I'm like, holy shit. How'd that win the Oscar for Best Picture? It's just based on the fact that it's just a throwback to that time.
Yeah.
And no one else did it, but it's like, it's such a lazy throwback, 'cause it's nowhere near like the work that went into this.
I told you that after it was done. I was like, I feel like there's a current movie that ripped this off.
And we said it was.
We were thinking it was that, but I was thinking
what
it
we
might have
haven't
been something
seen it in
else
forever,
too.
and I'm like, I know it had that.
I think
dog
there's another
in it.
movie that does.
Yeah, like the dog is like the hardest worker in that movie.
So I guess also why Gene Kelly was also a bear in this movie was because he was also fighting against MGM.
Yeah.
I have this excerpt here. I was going to read it. This movie was Gene Kelly's trump card to get out of his contract with MGM. Kelly would later talk about his roles, such as in Guys and Dolls from '55, where he had to turn down due to conflicts with his contract with the studio. This movie was not only a hit, but a mockery of MGM, which you can totally see.
Oh, I know. They do.
And then Kelly was later released from his contract. He had a poor attitude throughout the filming, but most of it was just an act so the studio would get frustrated with him and kick him out. So
he wanted this to fail? Or
I guess
wanted them
for
to
whatever reason he wanted to be
cut
out
him.
of his MGM contract.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe he was getting a rough cut of the deal or something.
He had a bad relationship with the head of MGM from the get-go.
Oh, was that
because he was a Broadway star, and the head of MGM supposedly had come and talked to him backstage after a show and was like, you're amazing, I love you, I totally want to put you in a movie. And he didn't have any plans of going into film. He wanted to stay on the stage. And then he, like, basically this executive backstage said, like, you don't even have to create a tape, you don't have to do anything, you just show up and it's good to go. And so he left New York and came to Hollywood, and all of a sudden, like, the assistant of this executive was like, we're going to need you to cut a tape and do all this. And he got really upset, and he wrote a scathing letter to the executive saying, like, what the hell, man? Like, you told me this, but he didn't have any. I mean, it was just like verbal, so he didn't have it, but he was like cornered into this contract.
Yeah.
And so he had only planned to make one movie, and then he ended up falling in love with it. And he had said something about the creative types, like, in Hollywood, and the rapport he had with other actors there, and like the crew and everything surprised him, and he ended up sticking it out. But that I read that he always had a tumultuous relationship with MGM.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
That's
the head of MGM, or
pretty
whoever it
close
was.
to like what the story of this is pretty much
Yeah.
like. 'Cause
Right.
it's like a guy who was a vaudeville star who is like pretty much broke and gets led into film kind of by accident because he starts out as a stuntman,
Right.
and then works up from the rankings from there. But then they also really go into a lot of like how fake Hollywood is and how like you have to kind of put on airs to still stay successful in it.
Yeah, like their fake relationship.
Yeah.
When this movie was first coming out, his role was not going to be him. It was going to be somebody else, and I don't remember who it is, but it was going to be a Western star moving on to like a big film star, like just how it was in like Hail Caesar, where they got Aaron Ehrenreich. Wait, that's his name. Right? Alden Ehrenreich.
This guy.
That was exactly like his thing. He was a Western star, went and just got cut because he was a pretty looking guy.
That's the other movie we're thinking of, because it plays off of this a lot.
Yeah. But they changed it to have him be a vaudeville star instead when Kelly took the role.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was the part that I never even remembered going back into this movie.
That fucking that fiddle scene
was so good.
Oh my god! Like I even like wrote it down on my phone that the best actors in this movie are the people that boo after that fiddle scene, because that whole sequence is so good. It's so damn
like
good.
when you see people drink champagne glasses through each other's arms, but they did that with fiddles.
They found every single possible way to have two men play the fiddle together, and it's so goddamn good.
Yeah, really good.
It was good. It was like watching a life of a relationship play out
But
with fiddles.
yeah, that's right. It's like the beginning of Up with fiddles.
Yeah. Huh?
But that whole intro was really cool, and like
Yeah.
how him and O'Connor were buddies all growing up.
Like
Yep.
broke
Came up through,
scallywags.
and while he's telling the story, he's embellishing it, and you're seeing the real life
and that's
stories
that's what I
play
love
out.
about it, where it's like it's a lot of like the speaking in it is the set aside, and then the real stuff you actually see played out in front of you. Like he's talking about, like you like listen to like his dialogue, and he's like talking about coming up in a very aristocratic family, and then going to the finest acting school.
Right.
And meanwhile, you're like watching him like
Going to
dance for dimes, and then go on vaudeville, go on a vaudeville tour, and then and then there's even like a scene where like there's even like a part where he slips up where he says, "We were stranded. I mean, we were we went to Hollywood to make it big."
Yeah. And offers were pouring down while he's just like
Yeah, and he's like standing in the rain.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you can see like that bullshit where like you have to present yourself as like this well-known like this very successful person who became an actor, even though in real life you're just this bum who is very talented and just kind of stumbled into this life.
Right. But at the same time, like had the talent to do so. He just was
he
never
was
handpicked.
super talented.
And he just happened to catch his lucky break.
Yeah.
And I like that his buddy was always like drug along with him too, and also like got his comeuppance, you know, like
I kind of felt badly for him because he was just as talented. He just wasn't as good.
Well, we
looking.
were talking about it before you came in.
I just love like I very much appreciate, like I've said this before, but I very much appreciate like the best friend role in films, like like Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. Even though I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan,
my
but
God.
just like
All
those.
right.
But like those characters where they go above and beyond just for somebody else. Like I love that, and that's what I feel like Cosmo is in this.
Mm-hmm.
Where like he's willing to take that background role.
Yeah, but part of me was like, but Gene Kelly keeps like pointing him out, like I couldn't have done it without my buddy. But part of me was like, damn. But you could tell he gets a lot of side action.
But his buddy also gets.
He gets,
like,
I guess,
promoted. Like he goes from playing the piano to being the music coordinator to being like a producer.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and while
there was a cute redhead talking to him, so.
Oh yeah,
I guess
that dude's probably slanging tang all day, every day.
slaying 50s tang.
I'll take another beer, Troy.
Oh sure.
Get it on it. But yeah, I love like
slang and tang.
Since we're talking about that first part, I love the dude that goes bonkers for Zelda.
Yeah, he's really kind of creepy.
I show him once. He's like, Zelda!
We like stopped and looked at each other at the same time. Like, you saw that, right? That was creepy, even in 2018.
But even like in presenting like the red carpet couples, it's like they show how fake Hollywood is, where like the announcer is describing it one way, but it's completely different. Where like Zelda's going on there with this old gross dude, and she's like, "Look at this fresh young couple, aren't they so wonderful?"
Right.
And it's like she's fucking him for his money.
No, she alludes to that.
Hollywood's
I thought it was
most
funny
eligible bachelor.
when she said Hollywood's. I laughed at that because it was like clear that
But
it was like
no,
a
but
fat
it's
old
like-
rich guy.
But you're listening to the announcer present it one way, but like in reality, you're seeing it where it's like it's just an old dude with a very young chick.
See, I took it as super funny because it was like right on the nose.
No,
It
it
is
is funny. It is funny.
It's ironic,
But it's
yeah.
like they're not like lying to you. Like they're just twisting the
She
truth.
also says it like right at them. Like she's not even like a side commentator. She's literally in the middle of the red carpet.
Yeah.
And they walk up and she's like, and this eligible bachelor. And he's clearly like 85
he's like-
years old.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
like he's limping up the fucking
she's like-
red carpet.
pre-Joan Rivers is what she is.
So let's talk about some of the songs here, because like the songs are written for this first, or the songs were gathered first.
Yeah, there are two. There's only two original songs in this.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea, which ones do you think are the original ones?
Not Singing in the Rain.
No.
Singin' in the Rain was actually used in 6 different films before this.
I figured that when
Yeah.
she was on stage and the whatever. Oh, the girl one where it's like the stripper gram girls.
No, that one's...
Crap.
I wrote down what they were.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember it too. It's...
That
Moses-
long ass
Moses
musical
Supposes.
cut.
Yeah, Moses Supposes and Make 'Em
Moses.
Laugh.
Yeah, those are the only
Moses.
original songs for the.
Moses.
I was losing my shit on Moses Supposes.
Moses Supposes, I thought was really good. I thought it was
that dialect coach they put through the fucking ringer.
for no reason,
and it is so good.
they really give him the
But
business.
it's an amazing. This is another reason why I love Cosmo in this. Is like there's like a bunch of scenes like that and Make 'Em Laugh are scenes where like Don Lockwood is just like kind of going through hell, where he's like trying to do this shit, and then Cosmo
He's like making faces.
yeah, and then Cosmo moves in and tries to make it fun for him, or tries to like kind of liven the mood for him.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Cosmo in this. He's just like
I feel like it's you and Troy. The more you go on about loving being a best friend, it's like an ode to your relationship. Can I just point that out? I'm just going to say it.
to be honest, I actually see this movie as like the three of ours relationship.
Oh,
Right?
there we have it.
You've never said it. That should have been your best man speech.
Just go see Sing in the Rain. You can see our
Yeah.
whole story.
Yes.
Period.
No, I
Drink
want
up.
you should have interpretive danced
Sing
it
in
out.
the rain, peace.
Cutest thing he's ever said. And it's on record.
It's hard to read my notes because Macy scribbled all over them.
Just good. Cute scribbles though.
But yeah, no, I just love Cosmo in this because he always
really
moves in and he
talented.
always livens. Like if Don Lockwood's down, he livens the mood. And then if Don Lockwood has no ideas, and he moves in and gives him ideas and is not bitching about whether or not he gets credit for it or not. Like I love that shit.
And just while we're staying on Moses Supposes and Make 'Em Laugh, even though it was in quote an original song, some guy came in during the making of that song saying that sounds awfully familiar. And here is a song called Be a Clown.
Yeah. Well,
They stole the song.
fuck that guy.
They never got sued for plagiarism. But that's
Yeah.
Be a Clown right there. Very similar to Make 'Em Laugh. I think this says it's from the Singin' in the Rain original cast recording. So I wonder if they just switched that out for
Maybe.
Make 'Em Laugh.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because Be a Clown would be a weird song for that
Yeah.
scene. But yeah, I love Make 'Em Laugh where
Yeah, I don't even I guess this might have been the stage show, but I don't even see Make
And did
'Em
you read the
Laugh.
facts for Make 'Em Laugh? Because Make 'Em Laugh sounds like a fucked up
just the
situation.
dance number?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read some of that
So,
stuff. Go ahead.
Donald O'Connor did the entire scene for Make 'Em Laugh, and it's if you watch it, it's fucked up. Where when he did it, he was in the hospital for a week from exhaustion and severe rug burns. And then after he got out of the hospital, he came back, and Gene Kelly was like, "That was amazing. We need you to do it again because the camera wasn't working." So he did it again.
I feel like that would happen to you. Like, as you're saying that, I'm like, I want to be like, I'm sorry, Joel.
Yeah.
So he did this whole bit twice.
Hope they paid his medical bills.
In the 50s, you kidding? They probably didn't have medical bills at the time.
Kidding me, bruh?
50s was the golden era, you know what I mean? Baby boomers or whatever. Whoa, easy Google, I'm not talking to you. Chill out over there.
I turned off that. Yeah, that's right.
Shut the fuck up.
Now show you dominance.
There's still on the musical numbers, Singin' in the Rain. This is a very popular fact, but I'm going to say it nonetheless. Gene Kelly did it while he was incredibly sick. Rumor has it they had 101 or 103 degree fever.
Yeah, he had 110 fever before he did Singin' in the
110,
Rain.
he'd be dead.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know
I thought it was. Hold on.
I mean, not to brag.
I read the
parent
fact,
and
and
all,
they
but
said that they calculated him at 110 fever before he did Singin' in the Rain.
he would be like in a coma.
It had
Let
to
me
be at
see.
least 101.
103 is
Maybe
what I read.
101 then.
I read 103.
Well, at most 103, at least 101.
At craziest 110.
110, his brain would be boiling in his skull. That's not true.
Like a soupy gray mess.
Soupy gray matter.
Soupy Gramus.
But anyway, Singin' in the Rain, he did while doing very ill.
Yeah.
And he didn't really, wasn't feeling up to it, but he's like, I'll do one take.
And that's the take that
And
they
that's
have
the
in the
take they have in the movie.
Yep.
They only had it blocked out at the beginning of the alley and at the end of the alley. And so they just filmed it with two cameras instead of actually like planning it out to film it differently.
Yep.
And he just did through it, ad-libbed the dances, and that's the take that you see in the movie.
Pretty much.
Damn.
And the coat that he wore was wool, so it absorbed all the fucking water that hit it. So it's like that coat probably weighed like 50 pounds.
While he's
Granted, like it's not the
super
most
sick.
active dance number in the whole thing. It's a good dance number, but
It is, yeah.
it's not make them laugh or anything like that.
No.
But it is really
was
really good, and it's
Great.
like
It's the most iconic
yeah.
scene.
it is. It's the namesake.
And
of
they
the
even
whole
tried to
movie.
film the scene at night one time, but they couldn't because people were using their water, so they didn't have enough water pressure. So they had to wait for very early in the morning to film it
Yeah,
because that was the only time they could get enough water pressure to actually have all the rain come out.
right. And then they had to block off like 2 blocks of something and darken it so it looked like night, like because they didn't have the capability to just do it like in post. So they they blocked off with high walls.
So what you're saying is they blocked out the sun.
Essentially,
The whole sun.
yeah.
in Hollywood, they have an
Eclipse.
unlimited budget with $2.5 million. That was the budget of the film.
Back then, though, that
No
was probably a
shit.
ton of money.
And this movie did go over budget. and
Jesus.
because of only
Because of all
one
that
dance
rain.
number. Can you guess which one it is?
Was it the Broadway one?
Yeah,
Oh, I hate
the
that
one
one.
that I
I
hate the most.
I forgot this because this movie is crazy because out of nowhere they're just like, let's present a completely different thing that doesn't involve this movie at all, and it goes on for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah,
They needed
It is
to
this
fill
crazy.
whole Broadway ballet sequence took like probably 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
and it's just Gene Kelly
It's-
explaining what the end of the movie should be.
No, he's explaining what the beginning should be.
Oh, whatever
'cause
it
he
is.
says like, we're filming this new dance scene, and it's about where this kid comes into New York, and he's like saying that this is like the opening of the Singing Cavalier.
Yeah, and it is also like a meta thing where it's kind of also like Gene Kelly's like character in Singin' in the Rain. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of takes like a
And
lowly
her,
guy.
I took it as her 'cause she was the one
well,
who's like
it's kind of
she
both
wanted
their
to go to
journeys.
Broadway. Yeah.
It's both their journeys, really. It's like they came from nothing, they go into like the big city
Yeah.
and try to make it, and then they finally get there and they.
But
make
like,
be a
I
big
like
star
how
or
he's doing
whatever.
it because like they present it where it's like he's going back to his roots, where they present like where he is at that point as like he's just complete. What's so funny?
I'm really tired, and I was thinking when you said going back to his roots, all I could think of was the show Roots.
Jesus.
Not,
The slave show?
and I'm like, that's not right. My brain is misfiring. But I started laughing, and I don't know.
But no, they present it where like when the movie first opens, like he's, even though he is accepting the fact that like he came from nothing, he's still kind of all up in like the Hollywood glamour.
Mm-hmm.
When like he first sees Debbie Reynolds and she's like, "Oh, that's not really talent," and he's like, "What? What do you mean?
And then his
I'm really
buddy-
talented. Everyone tells me I'm talented every day."
His buddy confirmed it.
Yeah,
His buddy confirmed it by accidentally saying the exact same thing.
yeah,
Seen one, you've seen them all.
exactly.
Yeah.
But no, so they present it where like he thinks he's the best performer in the world, and yet he's kind of seemed where like he's almost kind of in a rut and he never really realized it. And now when he's describing what he wants the beginning of the Singing Cavalier to be, he is embracing the fact that he did come from nothing made him a better performer than if he were to just come into movies altogether. Because he's embracing like vaudeville and everything, and like how about, and like they even get to that point where it's like all the dancing numbers that he does throughout the country are the same thing with different costumes, which is pretty much what movies are.
Yeah. I didn't like that part of the film. Like,
I didn't either.
it took a long time to get through, and I'm like, is he still just saying that this is like what the beginning of the movie should be? Like, it's a big waste of time. If they ended that sequence with the big production head studio being like, I don't like that, scrap it, maybe I would like it more, because it went through this whole thing for a big long con to be like, nah, don't like it.
But I do still like how they ended it though, where he was like,
Gotta see it on
sounds
film."
good, but I gotta see it. Where it's like we watched everything that was going on in his head, and he was like, okay, I don't know what it is though, but I think I like it.
Yeah, I'll see it on film. And then I was like, you're gonna film
Yeah.
all that shit?
Oh my god, RF is the biggest fucking doofus.
I
love
like
it.
him a lot,
I
though.
love RF in this so much.
But more on that Broadway ballet. It took an extra $600,000 to film that.
Yeah.
Which ended up being a fifth of the budget just for that one dance number
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean,
of the whole movie.
I will give it to you that it is pretty much useless to compare to the rest of the film, but I did kind of like it.
It was amazing. Like, it
Because-
was a big vehicle for the talent of Gene
Yeah,
Kelly.
and
That's what
it presents itself in a way different way than the rest of the movie did, so you can totally see it, like, because at this point he realizes his love is the stage, and that whole Broadway ballet presents itself as like a stage performance. Like everything looks like a set. And that's what I really like about it. Like even down to the conveyor belt where he's walking down the streets of New York. Like that's just conveyor belts That's just like conveyor belts where people are just kind of like standing, like looking at things, and he's walking in place. And then he's walking on a treadmill, and there's people going by him. Like I really like that, and it's like creative ways of showing this guy coming from nothing to something to realizing that being something is really nothing, and then embracing what he was before. It's pretty much the entire story of Singin' in the Rain, but in a 15-minute segment that looks like it's all taking place on a stage.
Yeah. At the same time,
That's
though,
some
I don't
deep
need to
shit.
watch Singin' in the Rain twice.
That is some deep
Yeah,
shit
but this
over
is like
there.
Singin' in the Rain, but presented in a different way. Like
Yeah.
there was like that.
But I'm
fucking,
already watching Singin' in the Rain.
But that fucking
movie in a movie.
They're already doing a movie in a movie. They don't need to do a movie in a movie in a movie.
Movie.
that fucking scarf scene is badass.
It
though.
is awesome.
Oh
that
my
was
god!
They're like visually, that whole scene is amazing. It's
The way they cut it
super
too.
poppy in color. That ballet scene with the scarf is awesome.
Yeah,
But it doesn't need to be in the movie. Like, it just adds to its runtime.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it does add to its runtime, but and it does feel out of place. But I liked it. Like that's just all I can really say. Like I can see all your arguments where it's like it's pointless, it doesn't need to be in here. It just feels like they're adding on time. But I really liked it.
Both me and Chelsea also agreed that there's another dance or a dance and song sequence in this that we're like, why is this in here?
Beautiful girl?
Beautiful girl! Like, I thought it was funny.
They do like this weird like
That was
Vogue like
creepy.
model scene where they're
And the
going through where it's
lyrics?
like tennis anyone?
No, but that was weird. But the lyrics, he was talking about how she's 16.
Oh
At the
yeah, there's
very
like
end.
yeah, there's like one where it's like, and you're over, sweet 16.
I thought it said over, and he was like, no, I think it said she is 16. So we were like arguing about it.
Yeah. But no, I remember
Creepy.
watching this with Molly, and then she was like, I would hate this number, but I love all this fashion.
Yeah.
So
But
she
I was
just
sitting there
going-
like,
even
what
that
is
one,
the
it's like,
point of this fashion?
jacket lined with monkey fur. And I'm like, that is gross.
He actually said that out loud to me.
Also, before Make 'Em Laugh, there is a very, very offensive blackface scene where they show people that are in Africa wearing
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're
skin
right.
tight black bodysuits wearing
remember
like
seeing
African
it.
garb.
It's not like a minstrel kind of show where they have like the
Okay.
blackface
Yeah.
and the big pink.
No, it's like
things.
a scene that's supposed to take place in Africa, and it's white guys wearing full skin tight black bodysuits
God,
wearing
I didn't even
African
notice
garb.
it.
yeah.
That's
And it's
awful.
like, Jesus.
I noticed it. They didn't really
Like, they don't point it out, but it's
point it
going
out
on in the
or
background.
make a lot of attention to it, but it's when they're like walking through the sound studio.
Oh.
and
Yeah.
there's like different.
Right before Make 'Em Laugh,
I
they're
remember
kind of
seeing an
walking
African
through.
mask or something, but I was not paying attention to the whole screen.
Yeah,
so
they're like
I
walking
missed it.
through, and like they're showing all the sets in the background, which are really, really cool and well put together.
Mm-hmm.
But like the initial one is just people standing around in like skin tight black bodysuits wearing African garb. Where I'm like,
Uh-oh, troublesome.
woof.
Let me see if I got any more things here in my notes. What were your some of your favorite numbers in this besides like Broadway ballet that you're just going on about forever? Just kidding.
You're going on a Broadway ballet forever. I like Broadway ballet, but it's not like my favorite. I think my favorite is Make 'Em Laugh and Moses Supposes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love how the three of them interact with each other in Good Morning.
Yeah, I like.
I think
Good
those are
Morning,
probably
too.
my three favorites.
I like Moses Opposes, Make 'Em Laugh. I liked Good Morning. I remember it this time, and actually, my mom, like every once in a while, would sing that to us when we'd be waking up in the morning because she's like a big musical nut. And so, like, I remember her just going, good morning, and, like, that's what stuck in my head, and I'm like, oh, this is where it comes from. I also like Singin' in the Rain. That's good.
Yeah, Sing in the Rain is just iconic.
Yeah. But those are it. Those are the ones that stand out for me, too, I think. But I also like the opening number with the violins and stuff, too.
Oh, it's so good.
So, like, I mean, Gene Kelly is killing it. Like, I was watching his feet just like astounded.
He's
at
a
the
stud muffin.
It makes you want to learn tap dancing.
Yeah, kind of. But then at the same time, I don't want to like break my ankles or anything like that.
He is
either.
like a stud.
Yeah, he
Like,
is
in comparison
so
to a lot of
handsome.
leading men now. I feel like he's like, well, back then they used to be like a triple threat. They could sing, act,
Yeah, we brought
and
that up.
dance.
Yeah.
And like he was like a more burly dancer. Like he still is like a man's man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he always is. I was reading about
There's
that
so
too.
many scenes where they just zoom in on his face and he just looks into your soul where you're like, oh my god, am I gay?
Damn it. I was even looking at him like, damn, Gene Kelly, damn.
I wanted to know like how old he was in this, so I looked it up. He was 40
and
when
Debbie
this was
Reynolds
made.
was 19.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Well,
But everybody, like, it was hard to
at
gauge.
least she's over, sweet 16.
Oh,
It's hard
God.
to gauge because, like, everyone back then, I think, always looks older than what they were.
Yeah.
Like, anybody now that's, like, 20, I'd be like, you're obviously 20. But, like,
Yeah.
they could be 20 and look 50 back then and be like, that's just how you look. That's what the world does to you in
They
1940
also wore a
and 50.
lot of makeup in those films, though, too. Even the men.
Yeah.
They had different film makeup, so
Yeah.
that probably adds to it.
Some of the meta stuff in this as well is like obviously they're taking it to MGM as them being they're actually making this Singing in the Rain movie, but like in what was Monumental Pictures was the studio in this, and they're just taking jabs at movie studios in this a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole silent film to talkie industry, they take real life things that happened and put them in this film. Even the screenwriters, I found out, bought a home from a previous silent film star who lost all of his wealth when the talkies came into town.
Yeah.
Like, it's all wrapped up in that old Hollywood type shit.
I'm kind of curious if there were, like, talkie films made with how bad the Dueling Cavalier was.
I
almost
have
kind of
to say
want
there are.
Yeah, and I want to see them.
Like the
Like,
early talkies, and
Yeah.
just being like how
Like,
bad they are.
with like the pearls hitting up against the microphone.
I loved that.
And
Yeah,
just,
that was really
hilarious.
good. That whole thing was,
When
I
he
thought,
drops
really
the
well done.
stick and then comes down to
yeah,
her,
when
I'm
he throws the stick and it sounds like a gun went off.
Oh my God. Those pearls, though. Those pearls, I felt like that is like a relevant effect to like now.
Yeah.
Like it felt current.
I just liked all that subtle comedy in this because I think all the
That was
comedy
really
in this,
good.
you were saying that it holds up,
It
and
does.
I'm
Even
like,
the
I think it does.
Just
I
the
think it holds up.
dialogue is so good because it's just like people giving small jabs here and there.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that really hit me where Gene Kelly's looking for Debbie Reynolds and he runs into one of the dancers that she was dancing with, and it's like it was like something where it's
she's
like,
talking about how
can
she
you
bolted. And,
yeah, you can show me a thing or two, and it's like I've got no time for that, or something where it's like, or like, can I show you a thing or two? And he's like, no, I have no time for that. Where it's like he's like insinuating that like he doesn't have time to see if she knows that something.
No, she wanted to like do him.
Oh yeah,
Okay, just making sure you
no,
knew
no,
that.
no, I get that, but it's like she's presenting it as a way where it's like I want to bang you, and he's presenting it where it's like I don't have enough
Nobody
time
got
to
time
see
for
if
that.
you, yeah, I don't have enough time to see if you know something.
I actually like disagree with you. I thought when she said in the car that when she was acting like she had never seen his movies, I thought that made her feel very modern.
No, I love all that. I love where she's kind of like brushing him off and being like, "Oh yeah, I've never watched movies. I'm more into theater," and that like drives him insane. I love that. But then when she revisits him and then she gives herself away, where it's like I've actually seen all your movies
See, I didn't hate it though.
and stuff.
I get what you're saying, but I didn't hate that. I actually felt like it felt like a modern, like something modern. Like I could see myself saying that, being like, "I'm cool."
Yeah,
You're with somebody who's like super famous and is trying to impress you, and you're like, "No, I'm just gonna hold my own and act like I don't know your stuff because you think you're awesome."
Yeah.
Which he was being pretty smug.
yeah.
And
No,
he was
I
like
get
all
that.
over, had his arm around her as she's driving him, and she's just like, "Yeah, no, once you've seen them all, or seen one, you've seen them all." And I'm
Yeah.
like, good for you for holding your own. I thought that was actually pretty awesome.
But I know, I get
And then
that.
later, she has feelings for him, and she like admits, like, yeah, I've seen your movies. Like,
Yeah.
you were just being a dick.
No, I get that.
And I was playing hard to get.
I get that, but I would have liked it more if she wasn't playing hard to get and she actually did not give a shit about him.
Okay, classic JT.
No, but I would have, because it's like
Okay.
the fact that like,
He's just crying into a can of tuna.
but the
In his
but the fact
lonely
that
apartment.
she does admit that she saw all of his movies means that she was pining for him. I would have liked it a lot more if it like completely off the bat she legit did not give a shit about him, and that he does depend on her to really get his career going, as opposed to like her kind of like pining over him and then that
get
whole...
it, I get it. I'm just saying, I thought it felt
No,
bad
I
on
still
him.
think she's a pretty strong character for that time, though. Like, they do a lot more with her than I thought they would, given the time.
Yeah. Because he really fights to make sure that her name is on there and things like that. And then
Yeah.
when that
And she does a lot...
actress is trying to screw over, he like plots a way to embarrass that actress regardless
Yeah.
of contract or anything.
And she does a lot to help him, too. She's the one that comes up with making the Doolin
but he,
Cavanero
like,
musical.
says it in front of everybody, like, this is the voice, this is the person you love.
Yeah.
So I think he like gives her credit.
Yeah.
Man, delish.
You know, did I delete
Did you
it?
fart?
No. There. Oh, okay. So I did take a screenshot of this. So what was funny is that in the movie, Jean Hagen has that shrill voice, and she's dubbed over by Debbie Reynolds. But in actuality, while Jean Hagen was being, quote, dubbed over, she was just using her normal voice.
Yeah.
And technically, Debbie Reynolds was lip syncing with Jean Hagen's voice.
Yeah.
And so that was a fun little thing. And then when Jean Hagen's character was supposed to be singing and Debbie Reynolds was singing for her, that was another actress's voice.
Yeah.
That was then dubbed in that everybody else was lip syncing over, which was also fun to listen to. An inception of dubbing.
Dubbing Inception.
That was, but they also, I like that the fact that they did that in the filming of this, also in making of the movie in this too. Another meta concept.
You could, guys, play a drinking game with how many times meta is said.
But this movie is meta.
Yeah.
It is.
I get it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like,
get your booze out.
It does
re-listen
present
to this,
itself
get drunk.
as a movie that's trying to pull back the curtain and being like, this is how full of shit Hollywood is. Mm-hmm. And like, because I remember watching this where I'm like, this person does not like movies. like watching this where it's like, you can see like they do so many things to just show how clueless people in the movie industry are. Even RF is such a clueless klotz in this. Like, there's like so many things. Like there's like there's small lines that RF delivers where it's like so fucking funny. Where it's like there's like one where they talk about like how Lena's not gonna like this, and he's like, well, I don't care what Lena thinks. I'm the head of the studio. Just make sure she doesn't know. like even though like he tries to like fucking buck up about like how powerful he is, he still kind of cowers when he thinks about how the actors are gonna take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he totally is awesome and pulls that rope. That scene where the three men pull the rope for the curtain.
When he sings
great.
horribly to sing in the rain.
No, I just like when they pull up the curtain.
Yeah.
All three of them, because they were real into it.
Mm-hmm.
We both laughed. Like, look at that.
Yeah. Really good stuff all around. Anything else you guys want to bring up about the movie?
Oh
Anything
man.
else? Because I went through all of my notes. I've done it.
Yeah,
Got through them all.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think I'm through it.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm great, guys.
You're great.
I'm done. I'm really tired. I've been up since 3 a.m., 3:15.
Yeah.
You had a nice nap in the middle.
I had a nice nap in the middle, but I was up at 2:30, so in your face.
I have had 0 naps.
I've slept pretty good. I have a pretty good regular sleeping schedule. Everybody,
I hope your dog keeps you up all night. I hope both dogs keep you up
no,
now.
it's pretty good. Bucket is adjusted to my sleeping schedule.
Well, that's good.
How about it?
Wait till you have a kid, man. I'm gonna rub in your face.
Good.
I'm gonna rub your face in it, like
Rub your face in your.
Like-
Rub your
he-
face in my kid.
yeah. I'm gonna rub your face in your kid. Like all weird.
So, this movie isn't streaming free anywhere, but you can find it on Amazon Prime.
Pretty
yeah.
cheap.
But with that, would you guys recommend people to go out and rent this movie?
Yeah, duh.
Absolutely. This is probably one of my
Get
favorite
cultured,
movies.
peeps.
I would recommend purchasing this movie.
It's actually
yeah.
on our baby daughter's Christmas list this year on Amazon.
I think it's one of. I'm gonna put it up there. One of the best movies ever made, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
No, it's up there as one of my favorite movies ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like maybe that spoils the grade a little bit.
Oh, F.
But what would you grade this movie? Since we didn't really go into spoilers, or well, we did go into full spoilers of the movie.
Yeah, it's fully spoiled.
But what would you guys grade it?
Oh, I'll give it an A+, including Broadway ballet, you fucks.
Oh,
Okay, leave me out of the fucks that you just sent out.
No, I love it all the way through, even with my
Even though she plays
critiques.
hard to get.
Even with my critiques on Debbie Reynolds' character in this, I still think for the time it's pretty forward thinking.
Yeah.
To make her such a big part of his success. I love it all the way through. Like the dancing numbers are so hard and well choreographed, and like Good Morning, they seem like a fucking well-oiled machine with this. It's like three people sharing the same mind almost at certain points. Like they move together in such synchronization. It's insane. I don't think a movie like this could ever possibly be made today.
No.
I don't think
'Cause
so.
then-
I kept thinking that too. I was like, I just can't see people
Like
today
even
being
if
able to
even if
do
you
any
found
of that.
people with this skill, like you would have a studio executive being like, they don't have a name to be themselves, it won't make any money, fuck it, we're not gonna make it. But it's like you get Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, and
that guy,
Donald O'Hare, or
Donald O'Connor.
Donald O'Connor.
Donnie Boy.
The three of them work together in such a way, and probably under the strict tutelage of Gene Kelly, to the point where it's just
I was thinking
so
it would
well
have been
done.
probably grueling, the
Yeah.
practices, and they didn't have YouTube to be able to teach themselves, so they went through years of like probably professional classes
There's just
too.
Not
especially
Debbie Reynolds. She just got pushed into it and was just like, "You better learn this right quick."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like especially coming off of like Mission Impossible where we praise it so much. We praised it so much for like the practical effects. And now we're going onto this where all of it is practical dancing and tap dancing and singing. It's just
In the rain.
yeah.
Of all things.
You like especially getting to this point, I'm appreciating so much just like the raw talent people have to actually present themselves and actually present stunts that they're doing. That's
You're right.
not computer generated, and I fucking love that shit. This is a fucking A+.
Not just an A+. A fucking A+.
Exactly.
That's a high level
Highest level you can ever give.
for Joel.
I am going to give this movie an A because I do feel like that Broadway number at the end bloats the film. It did take me out of it, and I'm like, where is
Yeah.
this going? Even though they follow it up, like it's like 15 minutes long.
It is very long.
Like it's
I
unnecessary.
may have gotten up for a drink at that point.
I feel like the only reason it's in the movie is for Gene Kelly's vanity.
But I liked it.
But at the same time, it's a great number, but it doesn't need to be in the movie.
Even the random Scarface mob boss that's just flipping his coin.
Yeah, who cares? But an A is a high enough praise. Like it's like a perfect movie besides that for me. Chelsea, what would you grade it?
An A.
There you go. Any
That's it.
All right, fair enough.
Short and sweet, peeps. Watch it.
All right, just tone it down.
Can't contain this.
Apparently, I cannot. That's Singing in the Rain. First stop on our Singing Out the Sewer.
Singing out the sewer.
Singing Out
Yeah, I
the
was like,
Summer
what?
Tour.
Jesus Christ.
Singing Out the Summer Tour.
It's
That's
just
what I was
you
trying to
as
say.
that clown
Singing out the
singing
sewer.
In the
Yeah,
sewers.
Singing Out the Sewer. Damn it. God damn it, I fucked it up.
God, birds. No, just kidding. You guys should make them watch Brigadoon.
Oh my god.
You know what? Every time I have a movie suggestion, you guys never, ever, ever watch it. Ever.
Every time
Ever.
you come up with a movie suggestion, it makes no sense on why we should do it.
It's a classic film.
Brigadoon, yes, it is, but the other one you were saying that we should do forever, who cares?
No
about
one's
that
ever heard
movie?
of it.
You should still check. You should still take suggestions, guys.
All right, I'm taking your suggestion
Hey,
and I'm
sometimes
churning
I
it
offer
out to the
good stuff.
toilet. Brigadoon is still on the table. But that other one you wanted me to watch about dressmaking, no thanks.
Kate Winslet fucking kicks ass in that, and it's
Kate
super
Winslet
depressing.
can suck
Joel.
it. I don't care about Kate Winslet.
It's a good ass movie.
Maybe it is, but it has no relevance whatsoever.
God, you guys suck.
Hey, marriage quarrel, give me a beer.
Hey,
right.
you're part of it. This is a three-way fight.
That's right.
Seriously, guys. Maybe, just maybe.
Anyway,
Review something I like. Brigadoon.
Next, no, we'll get into what else we've been into, and then we'll get into what's coming up next week. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you've been into, JT, this last
What about
week?
Chelsea? What
Well,
have you
Chelsea,
been into?
you been into anything else?
I don't have notes.
Well, I really haven't been into anything else this last week
It's
been
a roller coaster with the baby body
I'm
cast
sure.
change out.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
2K18. What have I been into? I know I've been watching. It's somebody else. I gotta think.
Okay, well, I'll go then. I watched Super Troopers 2.
Oh, yeah?
Finally.
Was it worth the hype?
Eh,
That's all you got.
there are things that I laughed really loud at, but it's
more of
not
an
as good as the first one.
Yeah, I
I
figured it
wasn't even
wouldn't.
going to watch it.
And
They're like how old now?
There's
50
even-
something.
there's even things that they bring up from the first one that is like eye-rollingly bad. Where there's just like, remember this? We're like, oh fuck no.
Mm-hmm.
But there are scenes in it that I was belly laughing at. There are some really good things in it. So if you are a big fan of the first Super Troopers, I say go ahead and check it out.
Balls
Like,
to the wall.
there's gonna be enough events in there where you're gonna still have fun.
Is Farva still
but-
there?
Yeah, they actually have like a pretty funny ongoing thing with him where they make him the dispatch again.
Oh god.
But like the new place that they're at, like the dispatch thing like shorts out and shocks people. So like there's so many times there's like Farva, and he goes to get it and he shocks himself.
That's all
they-
I needed to hear.
And they do it in a way where like sparks shoot out like really fucking far.
Oh my god.
And there's even one where like they hide it in his locker, so he opens the door and he accidentally touches them. Like, guys, I'm losing sperm over here.
I gotta see it now.
So
I love when people get shocked.
there's still some funny moments in it, but like, but be warned that there are parts in this where you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is so fucking stupid.
Okay.
Like the first 5 minutes of this is really dumb. And I was like, if this doesn't pick up in like the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna fucking turn this thing off. But then they start diving into like them actually working together as like a police squad, where I'm like, okay, thank God, I'm back on board.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say go out of your way for it, but if you're a big Super Troopers fan, check it out.
Okay.
I got mine.
All right.
I actually watched it while you guys were recording last week. Making It with
Oh,
Amy Poehler
yeah,
and Nick
that's
Offerman.
right.
I was born to be a contestant on that show, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I should be a contestant on that show.
Well, there you go. Submit
Right in.
yourself.
I would fucking win.
Right in.
Submit.
Write your congressman. Get in that shit.
Congressman?
Yeah, right. Our Illinois congressman.
Was it Jim Sasha?
I don't even know.
God. Just a piece of shit. Nah, I don't know.
I don't think Jim Sasha's a piece of
Take
shit.
that, Sasha,
Okay.
you piece of shit.
Jesus.
Anyway, I really like the show. I think
Poor
it's really
Jim
fun.
Sasha.
They compete for badges, like they almost like something from Parks and Rec, where it was like the goddesses, whatever. So they have badges, almost like the Girl Scouts, and that's what they win when they win these small challenges. And I think the end prize is $100,000, which whatever. I kind of like the British thing.
Whatever.
You like the badges more?
Honestly,
I just want badges.
Well,
Fuck money that I could
no.
use for my family.
I've gotten into more of like the British competitions, like Great British Bake Off, where they don't give you prize money. It's more of the prestige and like of doing something well.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of I don't know. I'm kind of over the America like, and then you win $100,000.
Capitalism.
But there was some.
Yeah.
They have really some pretty talented craftsmen on there that are like, they made some cool stuff.
Is that on Hulu?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. I think the second episode airs this week on Hulu.
Sweet.
But yeah, no, it was really good, and they're both super cute, and they're like kind of playing into like their stereotype characters, but not really. I mean, they're still like their normal selves. And they have people who do a ton of different art forms. There's paper craftsmen, and then there's woodworkers, and it's cool. It's really cool. That's
Right
my
on.
only thing I was able to sneak in
Right on.
this week.
Well, I also saw they had the season premiere for season 4 of Better Call Saul
Still never watched it.
this past week. If you miss Breaking Bad, just get into Better Call Saul because it's
What if
made
you
in
don't?
the exact. You don't like Breaking Bad?
I liked it, but when it was done, I was done.
That's fine. That is fine. But
I
if
was
you
like, that
if
was
you
good.
if you want more, I say, because I just love Vince Gilligan's way of presenting stories. Like
I'm sure it's good.
he'll let a scene play out for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're like, why the fuck am I watching this? And then he'll have like a small payoff where you're like, oh yeah, that's why I'm watching. This is fucking good. And like everything
Don't
is like
doubt
that. Everything is like that in Better Call Saul, where like you're pretty much watching Mike just steal a guy's identity and just drive through a warehouse, and you're like, why is he doing this? And it goes on for a long time, and you're just, I don't understand. What is this? What's happening? I don't understand. And then they do like a small thing at the very end of the scene where you're like, oh shit, that's why. Oh fuck, that was so good. And you want to go back and watch it again just to see why he
good.
did all that's why it's so good. Like, like the thing about a prequel series is where the character's going to end up, and they still do things with this where in certain episodes they'll do flash forwards where it's in black and white where they show where Saul is now and what he's doing and stuff like that, where it's like, oh shit, he could die here. But then they cut away and they'll do a flashback to before he met Walt. And it's good. Like the opening scene in this episode, it's in black and white where it's like in the future, and there's like a small scene where he's in a taxi cab and the guy just keeps looking at him in the rearview mirror like really intensely, and he has no idea why, and he looks over and he has an Albuquerque air freshener, and he lives like in Colorado now, and he has an Albuquerque air freshener, and it's like, oh shit. And it's just like they're just staring at each other, like it's kind of like this like shared like I know you kind of thing where it's like, what the fuck is gonna happen? And it's like nothing is happening, but it's the most tense fucking scene, and then it just cut where it's like, what the fuck's happening? It's so good, like
Scene tease.
without even knowing what's happening or without anything happening. Like they throw small details into scenes that just up the tension, and it's so. Vince Gilligan is fucking amazing.
Dang. All right.
So I love Better Call Saul. If you miss Breaking Bad in the slightest, check out Better Call Saul. And my last thing, and this is going to nerd out a little bit and maybe even make me seem like kind of a douchebag,
Oh no.
but The Bachelorette season finale
Oh my god.
was this past week.
And good night, guys.
This chick is stupid as fuck.
They all are. It's a stupid,
And I love it.
stupid show.
If you want to feel good about yourself, watch The
Oh my
Bachelorette.
God, I cannot believe that's what you're talking about.
First of all, her two picks, one of the guys was outed for liking a fuck ton of very racist shit on Instagram. And the other one
to her? Like they told her that he's a racist?
No. This is after the whole airing of it and stuff, which is hilarious. So that's one of them. The other one is a guy who seems like a nice guy, but he's been through some fucking shit. Like, he survived a school shooting.
Jesus Christ.
And on top of that, his mom had an affair with his football coach, where he lives in a small enough town where it was a big fucking deal, and like his family's ostracized almost. So like this dude is like kind of fucked in the head, and like every time like she like is like kind of ignoring him in the slightest, he reads into it really fucking hard and is like, oh my god, she's gonna leave me. I don't even know what to do. He's just like stuttering over himself, and he's like, she's gonna leave me. I don't know what to do. And he looks like he's on the verge of suicide the whole fucking season. Every time she like,
did you watch every episode?
Yeah, we did. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my.
And these are her two top picks are this guy who is very clingy and a guy who's a racist.
Cool.
The racist one.
Oh no.
And
oh, no.
She said that's because she thought that the guy that survived the school shooting was mentally unstable. She said that on the show to his face. This woman is disturbed. And then when they asked the dude about, like, okay, so shit has come out that you're actually liking very racist Instagram posts. Like, he liked a picture, a photoshopped picture of a man throwing a Mexican baby over the border. He liked it. And they were like, okay, so you're liking this stuff. What's up, dude? And then he did, like, the fucking, like, I was a different person back then. I'm sorry for those that I offended. And then she was like, we're working through it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no.
That was literally like
you don't just
6 months ago.
Yeah, you don't just get over that shit. And he like legit lives in like a very redneck California town where it's like he's a big farmer and shit. So it's like that is the bullshit fucking thing. You're just a piece of shit, dude. And oh my god, I love it.
Sickos.
And then I guess they do a thing after The Bachelorette called Bachelor in Paradise where they just combine the cast of The Bachelor and Bachelorette and have them fuck each other in like a fucking like tropical island. And I legit cannot wait to watch these horrible human beings fuck themselves up. It's almost a fetish how much I love watching these people fuck themselves up. All of them are terrible human beings, and I relish in watching them ruin each other's lives.
I somehow respect that.
Oh, God. I'm out.
Like,
all right. Have a good night.
See you, see danger.
He turns off my mic for me.
But no,
That
me
didn't
and
pick up. I turned off the mic.
Me and Molly have even started doing this thing where, like, the chick from The Bachelorette did this whole thing where every time she likes somebody, she says, "It's like my heart. It's like my heart recognizes his." So that's like our whole thing. Me and Molly do now, where it's like, "Oh my god, you totally found the remote. It's like your heart recognizes me." Like, she's such an idiot, and everyone on this is so dumb. Like, the only person I like from The Bachelorette is this fucking guy named Jordan, who's a male model, and he just is so upfront about how full of himself he is. And it's like, at least you're telling the truth. There's so many guys on here where they're just like these borderline male model looking dudes where it's like, I just want what's best for you. And he's just like, fuck this. I love myself. I think I'm the most beautiful man alive. And he will like come out right out and tell you. And it's like, dude, I kind of respect you for that. And he's supposed to be on Bachelor in Paradise, so I can't fucking wait.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
So yeah, I fucking love The Bachelor, Bachelorette now. Fuck you guys.
All right, fair enough. I will never watch it, but I respect your opinion on that, I suppose. The only thing that I've been into this week, I haven't yet gotten into, but they have just released today the relaunched Fantastic Four #1.
Yeah.
And now that Fox is a part of Disney, and it was kind of led up to this where they're going to release this book because it hasn't come out in 5 years, this book or whatever, and everyone's clamoring for it, and it finally came out today. And the guy who's wrote Spider-Man for the last decade is writing it. And it was also the anniversary from when Fantastic Four #1 came out. Mm-hmm. And so it was all these things coming together.
Oh, shit.
And so I'm going to read it maybe tonight before I go to bed and see if it stacks up to all of its hype.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just looking forward to read Fantastic Four #1.
Ooh.
That's it. That is it.
All right. Well, Troy, I am curious what your pick, because you said that you were juggling like 4 different things, right?
4 different titles. I think I've made my choice.
Okay.
And it's what I think I brought up last week.
All right.
Because-
That's what I thought your choice was going to be. But then you said you had a bunch of other ones. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know if they were in the running.
The last few days I was going back and like rethinking what like I remember watching as a kid. And I was talking to my mom today and she brought some up. And I was like, well, now I don't know what to pick. But I'm going to pick 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites as a kid. It's one of my mom's favorites. Like, we watched it a lot.
Yeah.
There is a barn raising scene in this movie.
I know. You said this barn raising scene is awesome.
It is phenomenal. And I've been listening to the main song of the whole thing that they reprise a lot in it, even if it's just the musical reprise.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it all week.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to pick 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
Okay.
I may throw my other choices in the poll for the Twitter poll. But
I'm curious what your other choices are.
I'll tell you. Do you want me to tell you now?
Uh,
Because they'll be on the poll. It's not like I'm
Okay.
leaning towards them now because I've already made my decision.
Yeah.
So my other choices were Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
Okay.
Paint Your Wagon, starring Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood.
Oh my God. Clint Eastwood was on a fucking musical?
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
When he was very young. And Oliver.
Yeah.
Those are my other choices.
I'm curious about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I don't know about the other 2.
Okay. Paint Your Wagon, I vaguely remember, but it's like near 3 hours long.
Ugh, yeah, no. I'm not gonna watch Clint Eastwood sing for 3 hours.
And he doesn't sing a lot, and what I gathered from my mom, she says that he's not a great singer in general.
Yeah.
And Lee Marvin's not a great singer, but it works with his character because he's a drunk and an old man.
Gotcha.
But Oliver, I remember watching a lot as a kid, but I only remember parts of it. I don't remember the whole thing.
Yeah.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And I know the whole movie.
I'd be
back
more
and
up for
forth.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
But we're doing 7 Brides.
That's fine. 7 I'm for it because I know Dinosaur Neil has really brought this up as like one of his favorites too.
Oh,
he might be involved in the review even with our whole
get him in
Skype
on it.
thing.
Yeah. So we already have other suggestions for. We brought this up on the head of the show too.
Yeah.
We already have suggestions come in. Please give us more.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have 2 polls up at the same time or something like that. Because right now
There you go.
We already have like Twitter only gives you 4. Oh, excuse me, 4.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have 2 ones of 4 up at the same time.
There you go. And then the winners of those 2 will be in.
Oh yeah, we'll be like the last 2 weeks or
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
But right now we've got a few choices.
There you go.
But next week, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
I'm curious because you and Dinosaur Neil have both talked this up quite a bit. I've barely heard of this.
It is
So I cannot wait to check it out.
It's good. Before you leave, on this TV, I'm gonna play you that song I've been listening to all week.
Okay.
I hope you like it. Anyway, so that's gonna be next week.
Okay.
I can't. That's it. So we're just gonna go to plugs.
There you go.
So if people want to tell you about Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, where can they do that, JT?
You can find me at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter, also Bucky for Everyone on Instagram, and Hey Why Not Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. You can find us both at Revue Pod on Twitter. All of our new episodes are also uploaded onto Facebook.com/ReviewReviewPod.
Yeah.
Speaking of uploaded episodes, you can find them all at ReviewReviewPod at Podbean.com.
Also Spotify with the Swedish.
With the Swedish are into Spotify.
The Swedish love Spotify.
We just got all of our stuff submitted to Spotify, so it's there. We're on Apple Podcasts, so if you do use an Apple product, you can subscribe there, comment, all that stuff. That helps other people find the show if you like it. So that's all well and good. We can also find it on Stitcher, Google Play. With that, you should also find us on Google Podcasts, which you could find us on Google devices.
Yeah.
I am also working on to get us into Alexa devices if you're into that home automation type stuff.
There you go.
And that should pretty much do it for that. If you got something long form to say, do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com.
We will accept your emails. We want to read our fans' emails on the air. We will.
Oh, we more than have already.
We had Jude for quite a while. That was pretty sweet.
Must have dried up and died somewhere.
Graduated from life.
Yeah. Down there in the Australian outback.
Yeah. Maybe
Must have got
his
lost
roommate won't let him use his email anymore or something.
Jude, if that's true, beat up your roommate and let us know.
I'll get you an email. I'll make you an email for you.
It costs nothing.
It literally is free.
I really think he already did make his own email. We're just busting his balls at this point. But that's it. Yeah, that's the show. Next week, Seven Brides, Seven Brothers. Hopefully everyone can watch it. I think it's another rental on Amazon.
It better be. There's no other way I'd be able to see it unless it's free on
I already
YouTube.
looked it up. It's already a rental on Amazon.
Good.
You can find it there.
I'm very curious to watch it.
I have yet to see it in its entirety in a good while.
Oh my god.
I know already that there are some weird, troublesome things in this movie.
Yes!
Dealing with the time it came out, and maybe a bit of Stockholm Syndrome. But
this is going to be fun.
it's going to be a fun one.
This is going to be real fun.
So, join us next week for that. Until next time, I've been Troy to the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we are...
Singin Out the Summer.